home brewers, craft brewers, beer lovers, beer drinkers.
Get ready for an all-new experience in information exchange and beer culture.
Your only source for live beer radio that brings expert brewers from around the globe
right to your home.
You're not just listening to broadcasters, it's the Brewcasters
on the Brewing Network.
Welcome back. It's finally Sunday the 18th, and the Brewcasters are back on the air.
Yes. Hey, nice recliner, Scott.
Dr. Scott's shrinking in his chair as we speak.
What the hell's wrong with this chair?
I gave you the bad one. Doc's back after a long absence, and I give him the shitty chair.
Yeah, thanks.
Good friend.
Can I fix this, or am I just going to... It's a lost hope.
I'd switch it and give it to our guest if I were you.
Okay. I'm good with that.
It might be a lost cause.
Yeah.
Could pull up one of those hard wooden chairs to sit on for the next 4 hours if you want, Doc.
4 hours?
Yeah, you can be sure it's going to be a long show. I got a feeling.
That's what the wife said. When are you going to be back? I go, well, it's been a while since we've been on, and we got the full crew going. It might take a while.
It's going to be a long one.
Yeah.
Look at you two, though. You get like 3 weeks off, and you roll in like 2 minutes after 5.
2 minutes before 5.
2 minutes before 5.
Whatever.
But who's counting?
I brought beer. I'm smiling.
You're like still on vacation. Look at you.
Oh,
you
yeah.
look good.
Yeah.
What'd you bring us today, Doc?
I found a wit in the back of my stash there.
Sweet.
So, it's a little on the older side, but
okay.
we can talk about the goods and the bads and the things that I wanted out of it and the things I didn't.
Right.
It's not exactly what I wanted, but it's about halfway there, so I'm going to tweak it some more, and we'll play with it.
All right, cool. So you got the memo. It's a wheat show. Nice work.
Yes, I did. I check things, I check things.
You know what I like, Doc? You've been really active in the forum the past few days and answering people's questions and really getting in there.
Yeah, I got a wild hair up there, so
right.
I just decided to throw in a few.
I appreciate that, because if you notice, like people like our forum, but some of the comments are that it's slow, it's just getting going, people aren't too active in there, except in the beer radio section. But all the real beer stuff, the nitty gritty, you don't get too many people answering, so I'm glad you're in there.
Yeah, I try to get jump started. I noticed that a lot of old posts and stuff there,
right.
So, and I've kind of been more trying to pay more attention to the newer posts and the more current ones. Somebody wants an answer, not somebody that forgot he ever wrote a question in. So
I saw you in there a few times too, Johnny. I'm glad to see you getting in
Thanks.
there.
You actually motivated me, so
yeah, it's got to be done.
You're like, hey, you need more
I thought
participation.
I thought you were just in there to stir the pot.
I kind of did. Yeah.
Well, the way I see it, that's our baby, so we got to cultivate it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
And
a lot of registered users.
Yeah, there's a lot of people in there. They just want to see stuff happening. So we got.
Let's make it happen.
That's right. We got a good show for you guys today. So let me tell you what's in store. A few things. This week's guest, we got Shaun O'Sullivan from 21st Amendment. I think he's stuck in bridge traffic right now, but he'll be here soon.
Another explosion.
21st Amendment is supposed to be one of the best brew pubs in the Bay Area, and definitely one of the best in San Francisco, so I've heard.
I like it.
It's right near Giant Stadium, so a lot of people go from the game over to the pub. And he brews a few popular beers, and one of his most popular beers is his watermelon wheat. So that's kind of why we decided to have the wheat talk today. And when he gets here, we'll get into that, find out what 21st Amendment's all about, and then get into our wheat discussion, which will include fruity wheats as well. You ever brew a fruity wheat, Doc?
Yes, I have.
Yeah? Okay. You brew it for the ladies, or did you brew it for yourself?
Well, here's how it came about. I usually like to experiment with split batches and change yeasts up and stuff. And I was brewing a wit.
Okay.
And I used just a wit yeast, and that one turned out pretty good. And I put all the other stuff in for the ingredients, and I used just like a 1056, California ale yeast.
Yeah.
It was just flat across the board, and it had things. It just wasn't there, and I'm not one to pour out 5 gallons of beer. So I thought, it's a good base beer.
Okay.
So I decided to throw some fruit in it.
Okay.
Damn, it's all right.
And it came out
saved
all right.
it.
That's a good save then.
Because it wasn't bad beer. It just was flat. Flat spectrum of flavors and stuff, and it had a lot of tang from the wheat.
Okay.
And I was hoping to get more out of it, and with a wit and wit yeast, you get a lot out of the yeast. And whenever you're brewing Belgians, you're wanting a lot out of the yeast, and with a California ale yeast, it's just neutral,
just not there.
Yeah, it just doesn't give you anything, which is good, but not in a wit.
Gotcha.
Don't do it out there.
All right. So we'll get into that later. Just curious if you'd ever done it. Wheat beers is our topic. While we got you on the mic, though, Doc, not that you won't be there all night, but you've been in Burning Man for a week or so.
Yeah.
Well, you've been home for a week or so now, but before that you were at Burning Man. And for those who don't know what Burning Man is, I don't know if it's mostly a West Coast thing. I think it is mostly popular here.
Well, mostly, but you get people coming from the East Coast. I met a lot of Germans. I've met a lot of Australians.
So explain what it is in a nutshell.
That's hard to explain. First off, you should go check out the website, burningman.com.
Okay.
It's basically they build a temporary city in the desert. It's desert camping with 35,000 of your friends, half of them naked.
Right. And by they build, you mean
we build. Yeah, they mark out the streets and everybody comes, and it's basically like an art community.
Okay.
They push participation.
Right.
So if you're going to put something up, they want you to have people participate with it.
Gotcha.
Bring in you have to bring everything. You can't buy anything there. You can buy ice and that's about it. So used to be more that everything goes, but it's you get that many people, you got to have some rules.
Okay.
And
so it's a little more marshaled now.
Right. Yeah, a little bit.
Okay.
Just for safety mostly.
Yeah.
But you see lots of stuff you wouldn't normally see.
You guys get crazy out there.
Pretty damn crazy.
Did you see a lot of naked people?
Yes, I did.
There's nothing wrong with that.
No.
Were you naked, Doc?
No, okay. I didn't get naked. But
I saw pictures of your flamethrower.
Oh, we put on quite a show. Me, my brother, Chris Graham, and my other friend Mike. We had 4 of them going.
Oh, nice.
And we had quite a crowd a couple of nights.
Okay.
A lot of flame.
Yeah.
A lot of flame. And we made a Roman chariot. And my brother and I dressed up in full centurion outfits with armor and the full hats, and
put that in the gallery.
We were cruising. Yeah. We were cruising through the crowd, and there's a guy standing there nailed to a cross.
Oh, what?
I saw that picture.
So we had to go and we had to go and hang by him. And as soon as we did that, we had about 100 people taking our picture.
Oh, right.
Lot of wild stuff out there. Always have a couple of brews on tap in our camp. So
Okay.
I bring the jockey box.
Right.
This year we had Chris's Belgian.
Okay.
I had a Hefeweizen. We had a EJ Fair blonde lager.
Nice.
And I insisted that we bring a keg of Damnation out there.
Oh, wow.
So
for breakfast, right?
Yeah, that was a really good breakfast. Well, it all kind of runs together.
So you were some of the most popular people at the whole
for a lot of
place, I'm
things,
sure.
yeah.
Right, okay. Sure. Very nice. Very nice. All right, so that's where Doc has been, among other things. Last week, as you know, it was the first time that we didn't have a show.
Yeah.
So I was kind of missing it, actually. It was a little depressing. But also nice to have a little vacation. I got some things together and some things started for the Brewing Network in the time off, too.
How was your reunion?
Yeah, I had a 10-year high school reunion is one of the reasons I had to go down to L.A. It was alright. It was weird. It had its moments. We graduated over 600 kids in my class. Mm-hmm. Huge school in Southern California. I think about 100 showed up.
What part?
The high desert. A little desert town called Hesperia. It's kind of near Barstow, for those of you who might know. In fact, we had a caller from Barstow once. I was talking to him all about it.
Yeah.
And yeah, so we had our reunion. We had it down on the Queen Mary, which is a nice place to have it. But like I said, about 100 people showed up, which is much less than the regular turnout.
That's a big class for the desert.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they also figure, nobody's changed in 10 years that much.
You're right.
20's a bigger one.
Have you changed?
That's what I figure. Well, they all thought I changed. It's a funny topic on here, about whether or not, the Brewing Network's a bunch of fags on the air, right? Everyone's always calling us names. You guys are gay. You run a gay show. In the other forums, not everybody, but the people who like to just make fun of us.
Yeah.
Stupid.
So I get to the reunion, and as a joke, a good friend of mine brought a date who was my roommate. So 2 guys go, and it was just a joke. We figure the good friend of mine was like the Christian kid of our school, and we just thought it would be a joke that, hey, he turned gay, right? So he brings a date that's a guy. And it was all in good fun. I mean, the guy's actually married with a kid, but we just thought we'd play the game for a little while. Well, the joke didn't go over so well because apparently the rumor's been for quite some time that Natty and I have been gay ever since I moved up to San Francisco.
Now why you moved up here?
Yeah, well, that's what I figured. like all these desert kids, not been out of the desert, not the most open-minded people on the planet are like, well, Justin up and moved to San Francisco, must be gay.
Yeah. Yep.
You know,
put some flowers in your hair.
So the joke about with my roommate and my friend didn't even go over because they were too concerned about us. At one point, I had to make an announcement to the entire room. You know, hey guys, listen, not that there's anything wrong with it,
yeah,
but I just thought I'd let you know that I'm not gay. I ended up meeting another friend of mine, a girl who I went to school with. She's moved up here, and she's like, yeah, you know, I heard you were gay. And I said, yeah, you know, that's the rumor, apparently. And she says, yeah, that's the rumor about me, too, except that it's true. So there were a couple that did, and obviously a couple that didn't, and what are you going to do? It was a lot of fun.
You're the furthest from it, Jay.
Yeah. So I just thought it was funny. It was a little slow for a while, so we had to kind of amp it up. I gave a little speech, got people laughing, jumped up on a table and stripped. And
did you really?
Yeah. And I made enough.
How many beers did you have?
Not too many. A few.
It's nice you can stand on the table.
Yeah. But I did make enough in dollar bills being shoved down my pants to get another beer, so that was cool.
Yeah.
I made a good $6 or $7. Ooh. So, and I won a ribbon for the farthest traveled. So, you know, they do little things,
Well, because they don't even leave the desert, so.
Exactly, right. And there was a military guy who had actually traveled farther than me, but nobody cared because he wasn't funny. He just stood up there and said a lot of boring things about where he'd been. I've been to Singapore. I've been to the Middle East. I've been to Mexico. You know, it putting everybody to sleep.
But
and
you
so,
took your clothes off.
Yeah, but I took my clothes off, so I got the ribbon. So there you go.
It's all about presentation.
Yeah, it wasn't the most eventful reunion, but it was cool. It's, you know, I recommend going to those things. I never thought myself to be the kind of guy who wants to go back and see those people, but as it got closer, I really got excited about it. And there were a few people that I did see there that I was just genuinely happy to see.
Nice.
And see them grown up. You know, like there were some guys there that really grew up and that you thought might have been, you know, kind of doofuses still, but they're EMTs now, and they own houses, and they got wives, and they got kids, and just talking to them was really nice. I recommend going to those things.
When are you going to have wives and kids?
That's not probably ever going to happen. It's not my bag.
It's not your bag.
It's just not my bag, because I'm gay, right? It's not my bag. And actually, everybody knows that, too. Those are the other comments. Those who didn't think I was gay, pretty much, you know, I was like, you know, what do you do? Are you single? Yes, I am. Of course you are. And what do you do? Well, I brew beer.
You're not single.
I do well, I'm not married. Yeah.
To them, it's either or.
It's you're either married or you're single.
I would never have thought that.
Yeah. You're either married or you're single, pretty much. They don't ask, do you have a girlfriend? They don't ask
lame.
like that. Yeah. I don't think so.
They're not as progressive as.
I agree.
Okay.
You know, I agree. You're either married or you're not. You know?
All right, sorry.
Or you're gay or
sorry.
you're not.
So, anyway, I just recommend going to see those people because it's good, you know, and you're going to see people that you realize that you hadn't thought about in a while, and you're happy to see them growing up and doing well because, you know, these are the future of your planet right there.
Yeah, I always go to those and I get kind of morbid because I want to know who's dead and
right,
who's not.
Right. See, that's going to come in the next ones, I think.
Yeah.
You know, as I go to the 20. And that's interesting too, though. You know, who's in jail?
Yeah.
I did find out a couple of people are in jail that I know about.
No shit.
Yeah.
That's too bad.
That wasn't a surprise.
Yeah, predictable.
You know,
yeah. Most likely to.
Yeah. Look, there's nothing to do in the desert. But they weren't surprised about me. And what do you do for a living? Oh, I brew beer. I talk about beer. I got a radio station about beer, and I bartend. And they're like, yeah, we figured. I mean, I pretty much.
Was that before or after you're dancing on the table?
Yeah. It was after.
You were the cake party. Or block party.
A couple of the guys want me to send them beer. So that was cool. I said, send me an email. I'll shoot you some beer. Nice. So that's kind of cool. You get popular. Just if you brew beer, you're a very popular person.
Yeah.
So what is the beer of choice for Hesperia?
Bud, Coors, you know. It's when I was in high school, we were drinking Natty Light and Keystone Light and, you know, all the good stuff like that. So anyway, enough about that. It wasn't the most exciting thing on the planet. I want to talk about some business.
Did you hit the archive button?
I did. We are archiving.
Check on
but they already told me in the chat room they were archiving too. They know me by now. I screw up the archives all the time.
That's why I'm asking.
Doesn't matter. I don't even have to use. I might as well not even use
anymore.
I might as well not even use my hard disk space anymore. These guys will send it to me.
Good.
They're cool. I got some new news from some of the Aussies. I got a good surprise for you guys from Osbrewer coming up in a little bit. So, Oz, don't call in yet, but I'm going to need you to in, I don't know, probably a half hour or so we'll do it.
I didn't get your newsletter.
Some other things to get to. You didn't. A few people didn't. That's one of the business I want to get to. I did start a Brewing Network newsletter, so we can keep you up to date in case you don't always have time to check the forum. You can check your email. Some people did get it, I found out. I'd like to hear if others did. I know that Lufa got it. He told me he did. I also know that Gucci didn't get it. I got it, sent it to myself, and I got it. Daniela didn't get it.
Dr.
So
Scott
I got
didn't get
Doctor,
it.
and you signed up for the list?
There's a list.
Well, you got to sign up for it. I don't just include your email. Did you sign up for it, John? Yeah, that's why you didn't get it.
Well, shit.
Dumbass.
I thought you would put me on the list.
Hey, we're out of the loop, you know?
Well, it's right there on the main page. It says,
You know, it's okay just to
click
put me on
here.
the damn list.
You know who we are.
I don't have time to go punching in emails. You got to sign up on the newsletter to do it, and then I just click the send to everybody button.
Oh, I get it
That's
now.
the way it works. I got stuff to do.
Well,
man.
obviously not everybody.
Well, a few people didn't get it, so I do need to find out what's up with that. But I'd like to know if others did, so let Natty know in the chat room if you could. Daniela can't make it to the chat room today, but luckily we got a good old Natty helping us out, so he'll be helping you out. He's a good-looking guy too. You know.
Well, did we establish whether he's gay or not?
He's married.
Oh, okay.
Of course, that doesn't mean anything.
How long
I
you been
guess.
married, Nate?
You never know.
2 years.
2 years. Any kids coming for you guys? You having kids, Natty?
Oh no, I'm double protected.
You are?
Yeah, I'm taking my seed with me.
Is that right? You don't want to let that stuff go, huh?
Not right now. I produce about a gallon, a guzzle.
And you're not putting any of it to good use.
It never has gone anywhere actually. I think I'm sterile, but we'll see in a couple of years.
That's neither here nor there. All right. Well, thanks for helping us out, Natty. So let him know if you guys got the newsletter. I'd like to
We
hear.
might have to help him out.
But the plan is I'll keep you up to date of not only what's happening on the Sunday show, but sort of the new goings on in the Brewing Network. So I'll send another one out. I'll be sending them out every Wednesday or Thursday. You'll probably get a newsletter to keep you up to date. Our forum issues rage on as usual, although this time
There are issues?
No, well, just not
Forum to forum fighting?
Yeah. But this one was us kind of jumping the gun. Matt, call in if you're going to listen to this segment. I want to talk to you about this. But Matt sends me an email. He wants me to mention a show, which I'm happy to do. It's another homebrew show and a website in Australia, and I had heard about them before. And Matt is so used to being, rejected by, if he goes to a website and realizes that his post has been blocked, he's used to the story being people think that we're spam, and you guys know this story. We've talked about it. So he immediately assumed that about this particular website, which was, I think, let me get it right because I want to announce them properly. I think it's Aussie Homebrew, which we've been posting on for a while.
That's where we post with Oz.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Here's Matt's. Matt realized that he got blocked and then sent the guy an email. And here's Matt's email. I see that you no longer allow me to post promotions for the Brewing Network show. I think you're doing your users a disservice by doing so. The Brewing Network show is a commercial-free, fun, and informative. We feel that the show is of great interest to many of our subscribers. In our opinion, it poses no threat to your show, and we do not consider ourselves to be in competition with you. However, since it is apparently your wish that I do not promote the show on this list, I will no longer do so. Okay, so Matt...
So the horn came out.
So the horn goes out, and the guy writes back, and this is just... I just like that. I love the Australians, man. He writes back, he says, Matt, sorry about that. One thing about our digest is that it's very secure and we filter out all spam. It's one of the strong points that many of our members appreciate, in fact prefer. However, sometimes spam filters can be overzealous, so that's what happened to yours. I've made a note to ensure that your messages get through the filter. I will look through the filter for the coming week and allow your messages to automatically get through when they appear. I can only do that when you send the next message. And he goes on to say, you should note that you've made a wrong assumption and that we're not posting your show because we feel it's a threat. Dear oh dear, you don't know us Australians very well, do you? We don't have fragile egos like most of America. Our show has been on the internet for many, many years, and we have always said the more the merrier, and regularly promote other shows such as yours on the program. You would be better off just asking why instead of assuming the worst. All the best. Shout. Graham L. Sanders from Craft Brewers. I think it's craftbrewers.australia or something. I don't know. I don't have it here. He didn't put it for... Oh, here we go. It's craftbrewer.org. So there you go. It's the Australian Craft Brewers website out there, and the guy's got it right on. And I like that he's like, you Americans are so egotistical all the time. You think everyone's stepping on your toes, and that wasn't the case at all. It was just an accident. So Matt, where are you? Call me so I can.
We got to point out that Matt's been slapped down many times before this one,
and that's what I said.
The first time.
And that's why he's quick to do that. But at the same time, Graham is absolutely right, and we need to definitely lighten up a little bit on the who rejects our posts and whatnot, because this was just an honest mistake. You're part of the we now, Doc.
Okay.
If you would have gotten the newsletter, you would have known that it was signed Brewcasters Justin, John, and Dr. Scott.
Oh,
yes.
Well,
so everything that I do, you also do now, Doc.
Your fault too, Doc.
You're in. We're like blood brothers now.
Okay.
Shaun, you're here. How are you?
I made it.
We got Shaun from 21st Amendment. I told you he's our guest today, and he just joined us in the studio. So we'll be talking to you a bit later all about your brew pub and your beer.
Awesome.
You got stuck in a little traffic, though,
Yeah,
huh?
it took me an hour to get on the Bay Bridge.
Giants game.
Giants game, construction.
Yeah, I heard tonight was supposed to be the worst day. It's all weekend's bad, but tonight was supposed to be the worst.
It's bad. It's bad.
Yeah.
I'm here to report
Could
that.
have swam faster.
Yeah, exactly.
Towing all those beers.
Well, we're glad you made it. Thanks for joining us. Okay, so there you go. There's our own little screw up in the forums for the first time. I like that we did it instead of somebody else did it this time. I like it when we screw up, just because we get to say it. You guys want to hear some good feedback about the Brewing Network?
Yes, please.
We occasionally get emails.
Some good,
some good, some bad. Not too many bad anymore. The bad we always make note of the bad ones and make changes around here. And I actually haven't gotten a bad one in a while. Some of the bad ones I get now are like the same old ones that they don't realize we've done. They just haven't checked it in a while.
Yeah.
Things like that. So I don't bother responding back.
Just
to
go
those.
away.
But occasionally we also get some good ones. People lately, in fact, more than ever, have been really excited about the Brewing Network, and I think we've been offering a lot more information, and they've been letting us know. So let me read a couple emails I gotten. Justin, I've really enjoyed the Brewing Network. I'm new to brewing, and I'm still trying to get a handle on techniques to improve my novice process. Specifically, I've learned a lot about fermentation and yeast starters. I was the dope who kept asking for the specifics on how to do a yeast starter on your last show. I look forward to my next batch where I will implement what I've learned from you on TBN, specifically to go with a 90-minute boil, use a yeast starter, and aerate the wort with a pump prior to pitching. Long story short, thanks for the info, and it's helped tremendously. Alan.
That's great.
Yeah, that's awesome. Here's another one. Justin and crew. I just realized that I could download the archives of previous shows and have been making my way through them, much to the annoyance of my family. Just wanted to say that I love the show and love the format. As a brewer of 12 years, I'm looking to make the big leap. I find the conversation with other pros to be the best. I love this community. He does have a suggestion, and I'm interested if other people are into this too, because it's going to affect how I post the archives. He says, I have one small issue and suggestion. Not sure if I'm the only one with the problem, but I currently have an hour drive to work each way, and have burned all the archives onto a CDR to listen in my CD MP3 player. Yesterday, I listened to the first hour of the show and returned to my car to drive home and wanted to continue the show. Unfortunately, it takes about 10 minutes to fast forward through 60 minutes on my CD player, and it's a pain in the ass. So one thing I could suggest, it would make it easier, is if you separate the MP3s into each segment, like every 45 minutes when you take a break. So that's possible. That way you have 3 tracks for every archive instead of just one long, 3-hour track as they tend to be. So go ahead and post in the forums what you guys think about that, because others don't want to download 3 different files, but I'm not going to do both. It's going to be one or the other. So
that's a lot of work for you.
So we'll see. If you guys want me to separate them, I can do that. But if not enough of you do, if you'd like them in the whole file, because you can separate it yourself too, then let me know. I'll do what's best for you guys. He goes on to say that he about creamed himself the morning listening to the show about smoking hops discussion, and he'll admit he tried it and was surprised to hear that he was not alone. He said it had no effect, but it had to be done. And he's got a stupid brewing trick story. Aside from his many early boilovers completely ruining furnished apartment stoves, my other best was setting up a carboy in the bathroom floor to fill with Clorox and cold water and forgetting about it, completely flooding out that side of my apartment. Water damage was bad enough, but the bleach ended up bleaching the hell out of all the towels I used as well as the carpet. Keep up the good work, guys. Can't wipe the smile off my face when I'm listening. Cheers from the UK. So it's one of our UK listeners. And one more. Hi there, just wanted to let you know that I finally started listening to your shows since you've made them downloadable and reckon they're great. I've only just gotten to the second show, listening while drinking an IPA, but I'm loving it so far. Just heard the first on-air burp and couldn't stop laughing. Anyway, looking forward to getting through to the rest of the backlog. Cheers from Australia. Thank you for the posts on AussieHomebrewer.com. So there you go. Oz, you've got Oz on the phone now? He's ready to do his segment already? What are you running the show now, Oz?
I like the positive feedback, Jay.
You like it?
I like it a lot.
I thought we'd read a little bit of it. I'll read the negative stuff too when I get it. Don't think I'm just.
It seems like that's all we've done the last 2 months.
Just read negative
There's been
stuff.
good stuff, but
Well, I want people to know that I'm not hiding from anything.
Good.
So I just haven't got any negative stuff in a while. All right, so I guess Oz wants me to get to him now. Oz, what's up, man? He's not there at all.
Bye,
We
Oz.
dropped him. Yeah.
call back.
He must have gotten offended because I don't want him to run the show. Hang on, Oz. We're going to take a break and then come back and do you anyway. So when I take a break, then you can call in, and we'll put you on hold then. How about that? Okay, let's move on real quick. I'm going to do my top 10 list again. Doc, you missed it. I started a top 10 list
Oh, dang.
last time we did a show. I figured everybody else has a top 10 list. Why not us, right? So I actually made it a top 15 list last time, but this time I shortened it. I sort of shortened it. I found 2 top 10 lists that counter each other. I found them in an article. The article's a couple weeks old, so some of you may have already know it. But my top 10 this week are twofold. The top 10 reasons why wine is better than beer. Ooh. Boo. And then, to counter it, the top 10 reasons why beer is better than wine.
Nice.
Okay, so why don't we go and just get right to it. We'll start with the wine. Number 10 reason. Did you ever hear of a wine belly? He makes a good point. In fact,
one.
I'll tell you this: Daniela's dad in Germany actually moved over to drinking something called Weinschorle, which is basically you take white wine and you add sparkling water to it. And so now when he drinks in large quantities, he drinks Weinschorle instead of beer because he felt he was getting too big of a beer belly, and he wanted to remain a German stud for his wife. Number 9, wine glasses don't weigh as much as beer mugs. Less wear and tear on the wrist and elbow, fewer cases of carpal tunnel. Number 8, fewer unanticipated belches, unless consuming champagne, that is. 7, doesn't open the floodgates quite the same way beer does. These are all true. Number 6, was there an Oscar-nominated movie last year about beer? Referring to Sideways, of course. Yeah. No, there was not. Number 5, age is better, and so do those who drink it. Ooh, below the belt. Damn. Number 4, Jesus didn't turn water into beer. He left that to Miller and Anheuser-Busch, who proceeded to get the process backwards and turn beer into water.
I was going to say they only got it half right.
Yeah. Number 3, tastes better with all kinds of food, not just brats, chili, and tacos. Number 2, when asked what attributes they're looking for in the perfect mate, knows how to navigate a beer list, never makes the top 10. And the number 1 reason wine is better than beer? Tastes great, less filling. Okay, so here we go with the top 10 reasons why beer is better than wine. Number 10, beer doesn't rely on a piece of wood to give it character. Number 9, the French don't set the standard for beer making and food pairing. Number 8, beer is richer, better looking, and has a better body. Number 7, the twist-off cap. Winemakers are just starting to figure that one out. Number 6, beer doesn't need a movie about 2 losers to increase its popularity. Number 5, beer has never had a bad year. Number 4, an old English beer drinking song inspired the melody for the Star-Spangled Banner. Wine coolers inspire Britney Spears.
Oh my God.
Number 3, no phony, pseudo-sophisticated, snobby elitist names starting with Chateau. Number 2, beer is so cool we use it to describe ourselves. We want 6-pack abs, not magnum thighs. And the number 1 reason beer is better than wine? The Mayflower was loaded with beer, not wine. So was Ben Franklin when he discovered electricity. So there you go. That's my top 10 for the week. And I got a really brief news segment because there's only a couple stories. And one of them I just had to read because it's about an Australian singer or band. I'd never heard of the guy, but I like what he did for rock and roll at this particular time. Australian singer Nick Cave scored a victory for rock and roll over health and safety laws, refusing to take the stage in London without his beer and cigarettes. As Cave walked walked on stage at Alexandra Place for a concert with his band The Bad Seeds last week, he was stopped by a security guard who told him his cans of beer and packet of cigarettes were against the venue's rule. Cave then told the guard he would not perform, British newspaper The Independent reported today. Nick said, "Fine, if I can't take the beer on with me, I'm going back to my dressing room. You can go out there and tell some jokes to entertain that crowd for 3 hours." Then the band turned on their heels and marched back to their dressing rooms. The venue authorities backed down after an awkward wait, giving the band special allowance to take their beers and smokes on stage. So there you go.
It's pretty lame, actually. Why would you do that?
I wouldn't go on stage without my beer
No,
either.
but not the guy, but
the venue?
The venue would do that.
I know. Trying to be health conscious.
It's a uniform talking.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like there's freedom there.
Let's see. Oktoberfest has started in Munich. I don't know if you guys know that. It started
September.
2 days ago. Yeah. It's weird that it goes from the middle of September until the very beginning of October. It's not Septemberfest, but that's when it starts. Go figure. I thought about it when Daniela was telling me about it, about how many drunken idiots in America would be sort of planning their trip to go to Germany and would miss the whole thing because they fly in October 1st, without looking it up properly. But let's see. German designers are promoting a skirt for male drinkers to wear at the Munich Beer Festival this year. They say their Oktoberfest frock is a lot more comfortable than traditional lederhosen. Doreen Anders and Andreas Landinger from Munich said they were influenced by the Scottish kilt in creating the drinking dress, which comes in short or calf length. There are no tartan designs, but the kilt comes in colors, in keeping with the blue and white Bavarian flag and other symbols of the Oktoberfest Beer Festival. A spokesman for the designers say the skirt combines softness with comfort and does not inhibit the wearer like lederhosen, which can be a bit tight around the calves and stomach. Landinger, who started designing the skirts for men a year ago, said, "I think they're going to go down well. We've already had a few dozen orders, and once everyone realizes how comfortable they are, I think they'll really catch on. And with all that beer flowing at the fest, you need to make sure your belly is free to take it in." So skirts at the festival. And it reminded me also that Daniela was telling me that the festival gets so crowded in Munich, that the beer tents so full up, and they basically can't handle enough outhouses and toiletries. And you also, if you leave the tent, you can't get back in it in the middle of the day. You got to get in there in the morning and you stay there. So basically people sit right at their picnic bench under the tent and pee right there. They just sit at the bench and they pee in their lederhosen. You just let it go. Right? Because you don't want to miss out on beer for the day. And what are you going to do? So they just pee right there.
Pour some beer over, you're good.
So I say with the skirt, it helps out because at least
that's what I was thinking,
you don't have to walk around with wet lederhosen all day, right? So I'd sport the skirt, I think. Or the kilt or whatever you want to call it.
You should.
But maybe that's because I'm gay. I don't know. At least that's the word.
Get right into that dress.
And finally, just a good story from New Orleans, from a brewing company. The Abita Brewing Company, and I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, located 30 miles north of New Orleans, but spared major storm damage from Hurricane Katrina, has launched 2 initiatives to help raise funds for the Katrina victims. The rebuilding and restoration of greater New Orleans area is vitally important, says brewery president David Blossman. We're proud to be a Louisiana company and feel blessed that we are still able to brew beer and keep our employees working. So Abita has brewed a special Fleur de Lis, it's called, Restoration Ale, with $1 from the sale of every 6-pack going directly to the Louisiana Disaster Recovery Foundation. The brew in every way symbolizes the hope and generosity of our people, said Blossman. Everybody in their own way has to contribute to the recovery efforts, and our way is to do what we do best, brew great tasting beer. Our wish is that everyone who enjoys Abita beer will enjoy it even more, knowing they're helping to restore the areas we love so much. They also created a line of T-shirts, hats, and special Fleur de Lis ribbon pin and car magnet to raise funds for the hurricane victims, where 100% of those proceeds from the sale of merchandise will go directly to the LDRF. All of the items can be viewed and purchased online at the Abita Brewing website, which is www.abita.com, and it's ABITA. He says, "We as a community want the nation to know that we will rebuild the New Orleans area. Sometimes a lot of little things add up, and if we can get thousands of the pins, hats, and car magnets out there, it makes a difference. It brings us together, united, and adds a common voice to the entire cause." And apparently within just a few hours of the products being added to the brewery's website, thousands of dollars worth of the merchandise had already been purchased, both from places like Louisiana, Texas, Tennessee, New York, Alabama, Jersey, and more than 21 other states. So there you go. It's abita.com, abita.com, or just do a search for Abita Brewing and you'll find them if you want to buy any of that merchandise. And I'm not sure where you can find their beer. I've never seen it out here. You guys ever heard of that company?
Oh, yeah.
You've heard of it, Shaun?
They're actually, I was in Jazz Fest about 4 years ago.
Okay.
And that was the only beer you could find that you could drink there.
Is that right?
You'd walk into a bar and there'd be like Coors and Busch and all that, those major brands, and you'd be like, I'll have a Abita. And thank God you saw it there. It's a nice beer.
It's okay.
But you can find them out here. They're available at Andronico's, East Bay, Bevmo.
What is it? Just a pills? Like
No, they make a bunch of different types. They have one called Turbo Dog, Amber, and variety of sorts.
Okay.
It's a great drive out there if you ever go out there. Across the causeway there, across that lake, it's amazing.
Right.
Yeah, you can get out into the middle and you don't see land anymore.
You don't see it, yeah.
Wow. Okay. Nice. All right, well, there you go. So check that out because it's a hurricane relief, and I guess if you can, look anywhere you can buy it. Maybe they distribute all over if they get it all the way out to here. And let me mention the name of the beer again because I think it's only one of their beers. It's the Fleur de Lis, and I'm not pronouncing it right because it's French, but you'll get the idea. Fleur de Lis. Fleur. Fleur de Lis. There you go. That's as good as I get. All right, we're going to take a little break.
That wasn't
Because I need to get some beer. Hey, I brewed a beer, guys, and it's done. It's in my kegerator. So I think we'll taste it when we get back.
What's on tap right now?
Did you drink it?
I did.
That's my beer. It's not that good. I'm gonna tell you right now. Well, here's what I think about it. I'll tell you what I think without giving too much away because I obviously want to know what you guys think. I did do everything right, and I think it's free of contamination flaws and sort of bad brewing technique flaws, which is what I went for in this brew. Were you here the last time I talked about this, Doc, about my brew?
No.
I employed all of the new things we've been talking about because I haven't brewed since March. May. I brewed in May, yeah. And so I used a lot of the new techniques we've been learning and talking about on the show. And so I think it is free from flaws due to that, but it's just lacking a lot of body and flavor.
Character.
It's watered down. I really got to move on to a full boil because I'm doing the partial boil, and I don't like it one bit. I think that has something to do with it. But I also think my grain bill wasn't the best. I needed to add something in there.
All right.
So you'll see. We'll test that when I get back.
I'll give you an honest opinion because I didn't think it was that bad.
No? Okay. All right, well, we'll talk about it when we get back. We'll get Shaun to taste it, too. Not that we know yet if we care about his opinion, but we'll find out.
Oh, you'll enjoy my opinion.
All right, and I'm going to give you guys a warning right now. I did a blues show this morning, for those of you who don't know. I started it it's a new Sunday morning thing, so it's going to be every Sunday. At 10 a.m., although I might push it back to 11 because we had a lot more listeners in the second hour than the first. We'll see.
I brew on Sunday.
But you do? Okay.
I started about 6.
But you didn't tune into my show, did you?
I wasn't brewing today. I brewed last Sunday.
Okay.
And I usually start about 6.
Well, you better tune in next week. You can catch me at the end of it.
I'll tune in next week.
No, you won't. You'll be asleep with your girlfriend. That's what you do on Sunday mornings. I know it.
Yeah.
All right, so here's the point of my story. Not only that you should tune in because it was a lot of fun. Gucci was there the whole time. Gucci's cool. And the Brewing Jedi, who just got an awesome screen name. He was hanging out with us from Washington. But after listening to the blues, it was kind of mellow. We got into some rock. I just needed some rock and roll later on in the day. So for the whole hour before the show, I've been sitting in the studio listening to rock. So now all the rest of you are going to have to listen to it too. So the rest of the music on the show is going to be some pretty hard stuff. So you got two choices. You can either turn up your speakers because you like it, or turn them down because you won't, and wait till we get back because I'm playing all rock and roll from here on out. It's the Brewing Network. We've got Shaun O'Sullivan. Am I allowed to say it with my bad Irish accent,
You
Shaun?
can do whatever you want. It's your show.
All right, cool. He's hanging out with us from 21st Amendment, which is one of the best brew pubs in San Francisco, if not the Bay Area. And we're going to find all about wheat beers. We're going to taste my beer when we get back. And Oz, call us in about 5 minutes, and we'll talk about the package that you sent us. A little surprise for the brewcasters.
Oz's package.
Yeah, we're going to try out Oz's package when we get back. It's the Brewing Network. We'll be right back.
The Brewing Network, saving your life, one beer at a time.
All right, we're back. It's the Brewing Network. We got Oz on the phone. I promised you that he sent us a little surprise for you guys. So I think I got it ready. Oz, let me get you on the phone here. Again. We dropped you last time. Are you there, Oz?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right, there you go. I got to try to get your volume up, though. Natty, you just hung up on him?
No, I'm still here.
All right, sweet. There we go. All right, so Oz, one of our longtime Australian listeners, good friend of the show.
Hey, Oz.
Hey, Oz, I owe you shirts. I got them sitting here, but we haven't signed them yet, if you're wondering why you haven't gotten them. Yeah, you want our signatures
You'll
on
have
there.
to send me 3 now.
Yeah, I do. Actually, I got a stack of 3 for you. That's exactly what I got. So Oz was nice enough to send us some good stuff from Australia. Anybody got a guess about what he might have sent us?
Beer?
Nope, not beer. Natty's got it right. Natty in the background is yelling Vegemite, and that's exactly what Oz sent us from Australia.
I've heard of it, but I've never tasted it.
It's a tube of Vegemite.
Come on, you haven't heard of Vegemite?
No, I have not.
Vegemite sandwiches, buddy.
Yeah, that's right. Oz, why don't you tell us a little bit about Vegemite?
Well, see, I won't send you some beer.
Okay.
Because of the customs and all that sort of stuff, we can't send beer.
You just don't tell them.
The next thing is Vegemite.
Okay.
That's what I think.
Vegemite is made from beer. What they do, they grab all the crap out of the bottom of the fermenters.
Okay.
And just boil it down until it turns black and gluggy and horrible. And that's Vegemite.
Oh, they actually take it out of fermenters?
Yeah.
Isn't it like
the used yeast?
Oh, I didn't know that. I knew it was yeast, but I didn't know it was actually used
Isn't
yeast
it like
from
the
beer.
PB&J of Australia?
Sorry?
It's a peanut butter and jelly of Australia.
Yeah.
Right. Let me read to you the back, for you folks who aren't in Australia. The back of this it's a tube that looks a lot like a tube of toothpaste. It says Vegemite. Kraft makes it out there, actually.
Okay.
And it says that this is a handy travel pack from Vegemite. Great for Aussie adventures when hiking, camping, traveling overseas, sailing, and other pursuits. And it's suitable for vegetarians, which is good for me. I'm glad you sent me that because I often don't eat meat. And it says, one of the richest known sources of vitamin B, proudly made in Australia since 1923. Now, do you eat this stuff on a regular basis yourself, Oz?
Oh, nearly every day.
Do you really? On a sandwich, right?
Breakfast.
All right. I got some bread here. That's what you usually put it on, right? You throw it on some bread?
Yeah. What you want to do, though, is not put it on thick like peanut butter or something like that. Really thin. Really thin, or it's horrible.
I'm making sure right now that my bread
powerful.
The first thing I got to do is make sure that my bread's not moldy, because it's a bachelor's house most of the time, and finding bread that's not moldy is tough. But I'll do like I normally do and just pick off the mold. But no, this looks good. I got some good whole grain bread. Is that going to be good enough, Oz?
That'll do it. That'll do it.
So I'm twisting off the little cap here. And by the way, you two, don't just look at me like you're not going to have to try this too.
I was hoping.
John, no.
I only pulled one piece of bread out of
that
there.
stuff.
Here. This is your piece of bread, Doc.
Okay.
John, this is your piece of bread.
Hey, thanks.
You want to try this too, Shaun?
Let's try.
You're in. He's in.
There you go. There's your piece. Natty?
I've tried it. I'll have some.
Natty's tried it. Where did you have Vegemite?
Peter and Lydia.
I don't know who those people are. Here, you get a big old piece of bread because you look hungry. Okay, Oz, I got my piece of bread here, and I'm going to lightly spread. I've had it in the refrigerator. Is that right too?
No, not. It's going to be a bit firm, but that'll be all right.
Oh yeah, it is a little thick.
That's
okay, I'll tell you. You know what it looks like right now?
Shit.
Those of you, Doc, you're going to relate to this because you, like myself, had your pot smoking days.
Yeah.
You remember when you ran out and you had to scrape the bong for the tar?
Yeah, the tar.
It looks like bong tar. Is what it looks like.
It's resin.
All right, there you go.
It like it's a bad thing.
Okay, I've just as they're doing theirs, I'm going to try it right now, Oz. So I hope that I don't have to make fun of you for this. Oh,
Is it veggie?
It's horrible, man. It's like eating burnt salt. That's what it tastes like. I don't even want to finish it.
Oh God.
That's not that bad.
You like it, huh, Doc?
No, I didn't say that.
You get used to it. You really do get used to it. Sort of an acquired taste.
It's like burnt carrots.
Yeah.
Man, you really eat this every day?
Just about every day.
Because you like it, or because you know it's good for you?
I love it.
Can you
like it?
can you ferment with this?
All the Australian kids, everybody grows
And
up on it.
I was going to say, in kid, you can get the kid to eat this?
Oh, yeah.
Can we give it to the dog?
Doc,
No, it'll make her sick.
I don't know if it didn't last the trip, but that shit's bad.
I think it could grow on you.
You think so?
Yeah.
All right, I'll tell you what. You keep eating it, and in a couple weeks I'll check in with you. You let me know how you like it. I mean, I like that it's healthy, and I like that it's, I guess I sort of like that it's yeast, although I don't know why I would just eat yeast.
Just eat the yeast from the bottom of your fermenter.
Were they just trying to figure out something to do with that sludge or something, Oz? Why did they decide to make a food out of it?
There's probably a famine back in 1928.
I can't remember I sent you some stuff with the history, but I can't remember exactly. There's another product called Marmite come out of England.
Right. I've had Marmite. It's not Marmite's a little more jelly-like though. It's although I didn't like Marmite either.
Just wanted to do something better.
Gotcha. It's definitely bitter. Does anybody else get that extremely salty thing happening out of it?
Yeah.
Burnt salt, you're right on, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sean, you got the look on your face like I feel.
Yeah, it's.
I thought he was going to leave.
He's wondering why he's here.
Out of here. I'm out. I thought we were drinking beer. What are we eating this stuff for?
Man. Because it used to be beer.
I gotta say this. I have always wanted to try Vegemite.
Me too.
And I even wondered if it actually existed outside of the Men at Work song. Because that's the only way that I know it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about, Oz, right?
That's it.
It's what made it popular in the rest of the world.
What you can do is that if you eat it while you're drinking, because of the vitamin B, there's no hangovers.
Okay.
Oh, that's a plus.
Okay, it is a plus, except
it doesn't override the taste.
That's what I was going to say. That's the plus, but the negative is that it ruins your palate. You know?
Yeah. That's probably why a lot of Australian drinkers still like Fosters and VB.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Wow. Well, thank you.
No worries.
No, I'm wondering how long that tube is going to sit around my house before it gets eaten.
Oh, not very long, because you're going to make everybody that walks in this house try it.
I am. I'm going to make them try it. And not only that,
you should cook with it.
Now that we're running a tight budget around here, we're running out of food anyway. So I could be just squeezing it straight into my mouth by next week.
Don't do it, man.
Hey, Oz, have you ever tried to do a starter out of Vegemite?
You know, it might make a good yeast nutrient.
No. It could be.
I've had some beer come out tasting like Vegemite.
So have I, actually. This new one I have isn't that bad. But,
no, it's not.
It says it's suitable for vegetarians.
Yeah, that's what I was saying before.
Why not?
It's because it's full of vitamins.
Half vegetables, half termites.
That's awesome. I totally appreciate you sending that in.
Thanks.
No
worries.
I don't think we did anything to boost the stock in Vegemite or anything, but at least now we know what it tastes like, right?
And you wonder why they can't market it over here.
Yeah. Hey, what were you doing during my blues show? Sleeping?
Yes, I was. I just worked it out. I was passing out just as you started.
Oh, gotcha.
It's like 3 o'clock in the morning here when you started the blues show.
Okay, gotcha. I was kind of counting on you, but then I figured, God, what is it, 6 in the morning there? I guess it's 3 in the morning, so that's all right.
Yeah, it's 3 o'clock.
That's all right. Maybe next time you'll be up all night or something.
I'll give it a go.
Well, thanks again, Oz, and as soon as we sign your shirts, I got to get one of them fancy pens that lets us sign on black, so as soon as we do that, I'll send them to you.
No worries.
All right, mate, we'll catch you soon.
Righto, bye.
See you, Oz.
Cheers.
I love that guy. He sent us Vegemite.
Yeah.
It's
still in my mouth, man.
Yeah, now I should have had you guys taste my beer beforehand. Although now maybe
I'm using it to wash that down.
Yeah. Now maybe my beer will taste really good. Now that you've all had Vegemite. All right, so let me give you a little background on my beer, and we can do a tasting because we didn't get any listener beer sent in this week, so we'll do mine instead. And Daniela's not here to update on hers, so there you go. My intention when I started writing the recipe for this beer was to brew a nice pale ale. And so I used one of these programs. I went to Beer Tools. You guys know Beer Tools? I just kind of like their program because it's really easy. It's good for dummies like me because it gives you a lot of options and you can just kind of choose through that way. And so I sort of knew what I was going for, and I used their recipe calculator to help me get to it. But when I got to the hop bill, it just was too small.
I noticed that.
Yeah.
I noticed that you thought that.
Well, yeah, exactly. I can't help it. I started out thinking, okay, I don't have to make an IPA this time. Justin, you do not always have to make an IPA. This is the conversation I had with myself.
It's an IPA.
But yeah, and I knew, let me finish, because I knew it was going to end up an IPA. As I looked, it wanted like a 1/4 ounce of hops here and a 1/2 ounce there, and I just was like, God, I can't be a hop sissy. I can't do it. So I upped it to like 2 ounces for my bittering and 1 ounce for my aroma, and I realized then it was going to turn into an IPA, so I was okay with that. I figured then I'll have a light-bodied but but strong.
Basically unbalanced.
A completely
IPA.
unbalanced IPA. But I thought I was going to get some smoothness out of it because of the new techniques I was employing.
I was going to say, what made you think that?
Yeah. But I was wrong. So, what I ended up with is, definitely a very pale looking beer. So it's a lot like I wouldn't say a West Coast pale ale, which tend to be a little more amber in color, but, definitely a very light colored pale ale. But it just doesn't taste like a pale ale. And it has, I think, my impression is it has zero body and too much bitterness, is what I think I ended up with. And, I think that part of it was my grain bill, which I forgot to print out here in front of me. It's on Natty's computer over there. And I think the other part is not doing, a full boil, which I'm getting a little fed up with, having to do the partial boil. Because I'm kind of adding water willy-nilly, too. Because I'm not just adding water up to my 5-gallon mark. I'm adding it over where I think my amount of trub is going to be sitting at the bottom, so that when I rack, I end up with a full 5 gallons. Right?
Yeah, you're still on that. I want 5 gallons of beer crap instead of I want my original gravity.
Well, a long time ago, John told me to do that, so I've been doing it ever since. He's like,
don't do that.
Don't do that.
Shoot for gravity.
Yeah.
No matter how much beer you get.
My gravity was really close, though. I'll tell you that. Yeah. Actually, even my finishing, my gravities altogether were very, very close.
Where'd you start?
I don't know, 1048.
This was 1048?
Yeah.
Really?
I think that my projected was 1050.
Where'd it finish?
And it finished at like 1017.
Okay.
No. Really?
Which I think if it was actually a pale ale, the pale ale style was like 1020 or something.
You mash high?
170.
Probably.
I mashed at 170.
No, you did not.
No, you didn't.
No, you didn't.
No.
What do you mean I didn't?
No, you didn't.
Just say no.
No.
Why no?
I was wrong. Say that.
You would have got the body and the spirit if you mashed that high.
No. You wouldn't have got anything.
So what do you think I mashed at?
Probably about 145.
150.
I'm telling you, that water was 170 degrees.
You're mashed.
When you put it in there, but you got with
and it didn't go below 160. I'll tell you that. It stayed right up there for the full 30 minutes it was in there. It did not lose a lot of temperature at all. Oh, actually, let me say this as I'm telling you how sure I am of my temperature. I'm remembering right now that I realized about 2 days later that my thermometer was off.
Okay.
Because I was measuring my fermentation with it for a couple days, and I went, "What the? There's no way this is
calibrate them, man."
And I ended up switching over to another one. Yeah. Okay.
No, because if you did it 170, you just killed all your enzymes.
Oh, is that what you're saying?
Get nothing.
Yeah.
But I'm supposed to pour it in at like 170, right?
Well, yeah, but then the grain at 70 degrees will balance it out.
Gotcha.
And you'll strike it so.
Okay. So I don't know what I struck at.
I think it's a good beer.
It's okay.
It's a nice beer.
Yeah?
Yeah. It's just you described it perfectly. I mean, it's a little thin. It's got a great aroma.
Yeah.
There's no real big flaw with it at all. I mean, it's a nice beer.
Smooth bitterness.
You're at the most, you didn't overdo anything. You're pushing the envelope on a couple of things, low and high.
Yeah.
But it's a good beer.
All right, so I know the hop situation.
Wait.
What would I have done to add body?
A couple of things.
Let it age.
Yeah, but no, it's just being thin.
Come on, sissy.
That's not going to happen here.
Being thin, you could mash it a little higher temperature or put some carapils in there.
I think you had the high temp down.
Okay.
Because I think you're probably too low in your temperature.
Really?
Yeah.
What kind of yeast did you use?
Cal Ale.
Yeah, I love that yeast. That's the yeast we use, actually.
Oh, it is? Okay.
Yeah.
It's just easy to use, too, I think. And then I fermented at between. Then it's the first time I had a controlled fermentation that I've ever
Cool.
done.
One more step.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man. I pulled out all the stops. I stayed right between 64 and 65 the whole time.
Good.
Yeah. So I wanted to keep it nice and cool. Then I let it warm at the end of fermentation, like on day 12. I let it warm up to like 68. Hoping maybe if there was any diacetyl in there, I'd get a little rest that way. I don't know if that was the right thing to do, but
you maybe could have done it a little sooner when it was still active.
Okay.
But that yeast is great. I mean, it doesn't really throw off a lot of diacetyl, so it's just it's super clean.
Okay, gotcha.
Good job.
All right, thanks. Well, I end up
don't beat yourself up.
In the end, I think it's drinkable. It's just I'm not the best brewer on the planet, but I know what good beer is, and I definitely know what I want to be brewing. So when I tasted it today, because it was my first taste today, I was definitely disappointed in how light it was.
You're beating yourself up because you were aiming for something and you didn't get it. But I think you got a good beer.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, you were aiming for something and you didn't get what you wanted to out of it.
Right.
But,
right.
doing all your things, I think you did a pretty good job.
Okay. Well, I'll drink it. Don't get me wrong. It's not going to go to waste. Age nothing. It'll be gone by tomorrow.
My first impression, actually, I thought it was Lagunitas IPA.
Oh, is that right? You got it out of because the other one that's in the bucket is Lagunitas IPA.
No, I got out of your kegerator.
Oh, right. Interesting. Well, that's not a bad thing to say right there.
No, that was I was like, is this Lagunitas? And then when you're like, it was your beer, I was like, well, right on.
Okay.
All right. You better start brewing again because that keg's not going to last very long.
I'm thinking
it won't last for 12 days, but you'll be your ferment.
I'm going to brew again Tuesday. I don't know what I'm going to brew yet, but I'm going to brew again Tuesday. Now I got the bug again. After doing it, like I said, I was really happy with doing all the processes that I learned and not having any bugs and it really kind of being smooth and clean. And so now I'm excited. I got the bug again. I'm going to be brewing again on Tuesday.
Why don't you try to brew the same beer again?
Yeah? But I got to change and I got to make it maltier and take my hops
Well, that's what I mean. You brew the same beer and try to fix the things you didn't do, and that way you learn.
I'll do that. All right. I'm game.
Good.
You better.
That's your challenge, buddy.
All right.
Yeah. Do the same thing and try to fix some of the things you don't like about or the things you were targeting for and try to correct for that.
Right.
But do the same thing you did and just fix a little here, fix a little there, and I bet you come closer.
Add some Vegemite to it.
Yeah. I think I thought about it because I've had the Vegemite for a while.
Yeah,
John's doing a commercial for it right now, holding it up with a smile.
A good yeast nutrient.
Yeah, it must be, right?
Yeah.
Just dump a little bit in there. Although I'm not sure how clean it is, right?
Hey, boil it. Put in the last 10 minutes to boil.
Yeah.
Your beer is fun.
All right, so there you go.
Add some body to it.
Okay, now that we got that, we got my beer out of the way. We got one more quick thing to do before we get into 21st in our wheat discussion. And that is that John, speaking of new experiences and learning new things, for his third year of making wine, has finally produced a damn good batch of wine. And this isn't my words, it's John. I'm not just dissing all his wine. He said himself that he had a rough couple of years.
Yeah.
But
it was the grapes, man.
Yeah, it's always the grapes.
It's a winemaker, man.
Bad year. But I tried it the other night. I stopped by his place. He gave me a glass, and I thought it was awesome.
Hey, I'm really glad we tried an IPA before this.
Yeah.
Wow, so we get all the nuances of the grapes.
Yeah, the palate's rocked. I got wine glass. Do you want to grab those real quick,
yeah,
John?
where they at?
They're just right when you turn right. They're in that first cupboard.
Okay.
So I'm going to grab some wine glasses. And it's a Shiraz that you did, right? Syrah. So, and he did a Syrah, and he used two different he did two batches, and he used all the same ingredients except for change the yeast. And I'll let him tell you about this. And I tasted them separately, and they are completely different tasting. Both very good, but taste totally different. And then he combines the two of them into one glass, and it's awesome. You know, what do we have here? The combined of the two?
Yeah, it's 1/3 Syrah yeast.
Okay.
And 2/3 Bordeaux red yeast.
Okay, gotcha. Now, I'm fully aware that we're not a wine show, but we are a make-it-yourself show, and since John was doing it, and it's wine season over at the beer shop, which you're just loving, aren't you, John? You love all those wine guys coming in and asking you questions, don't you, John?
I thought it was a, alcohol make-it-yourself show.
Yeah, why not? So, I figured it was worth having a brief discussion, because John brewed it and because it's wine season. So looking at it right now, he's pouring it in the glasses, and it's got it already, just by appearance, it looks like it's supposed to. It's got a really deep red color, which is tough to get also. Like, I would presume that maybe your last batches were a little more watery, eh, John?
They were crap and infected.
Crap and infected. I thought it was so good, and I don't have a palate for wine as much as I do beer, but I thought it was a great beer. Doc, you're laughing at the beer or laughing at me.
You.
Well, I oaked it for about 2 months with French oak and American oak.
Fruity, yet mischievous.
Yeah. If you have the one, and I don't know which yeast it is, that it tastes really fruity. Almost
jam.
Tart and fruity.
Cherry jam.
And then if you have the other one alone, it's really smooth with very little fruitiness. But then you put them together, and you get the goodie right here.
It's interesting. The Syrah yeast actually produces H2S, hydrogen sulfide, and the Bordeaux red yeast doesn't, and it's more acidic. And if you blend the two, 1/3, 2/3, you get more tannin out of the BDX, which is more oak aroma.
Okay.
And the Syrah yeast, you get more of a jam, smooth velvety character to it.
Right.
You blend the two, and you get the best of both worlds.
I like it. What do you guys think?
I like it.
It took 3 years. Now imagine brewing a batch of beer. You get one shot each year. I mean, it's 3-year trial. And
well, the tannins are coming through at first. I want to let it aerate a little bit, let it breathe, get some oxygen in it, because that'll just take that right out.
Yeah.
This is poured straight from the keg, so.
You make wine also, Doc?
No, I just drink it.
Nice. And how about you, Shaun? You ever made a wine?
Yeah, actually, I've been making wine for the last 5 years at home.
Oh, okay.
Nice. So,
give us your thoughts. And by the way,
I'm like, not to insult anybody, but I'm like the beginning extract brewer in the wine department.
Okay.
I mean, I just, I'm like, let's go for it. See what happens.
Right.
Get some Welch's and throw some yeast.
That works. You could top up with that.
Right.
There you go.
So it tastes great, though.
Thanks.
All right, there you go. We're all thick-skinned in here, Shaun.
Oh, the color is just beautiful.
Yeah, does have nice color.
Oh no, it's just.
Well, I added an enzyme called Lauzyme EX, and it supposedly binds all the skins and the tannins from the skins and the oak together, which brings out the color in this. Really blood red,
Right. It is very deep red color. It's nice, and it's clear too. It's not full of junk.
Yeah, gravity and time. It's on your side.
Is that like a fining, the thing you were just describing?
You actually throw it in during fermentation, and then as the yeast ferment, it absorbs that, and the enzymes kind of work at the skins, and that's how you get more color extraction.
That's nice. Turning into, we're all getting sensitive now. It's all like a wine show now. We're all like swirling glasses and.
I'm gonna cry.
Yeah. With cold hands.
You can have it.
Hey,
you go
I'm working on my wine gut.
That's right.
Well, I'll tell you what. Hey, my Syrah's done from this year's harvest.
Mm-hmm.
Got it fermenting last week when I was off, and I went and picked out Syrah grapes, and now it's going. It's done. I pressed today with Anna.
Yeah.
And it tastes good. Different yeast, so next year we'll do this again.
There you go. All right. You got to press with a chick, don't you? Just so that you don't.
I need her to clean up.
I hope she's listening.
She probably is.
All right, so there you go. Let's move on to things more manly.
Thanks, guys.
Nice work, John.
Hey, nice. I like beer too.
It's a good one. And men.
I'm the man.
All right. Once again, we are here with Shaun O'Sullivan from 21st Amendment Brewery in San Francisco, California. He makes a few great beers. I've actually only had one of them, I think, and I don't remember which one it was. I just remember the name, 21st Amendment. And one of your most popular seasonal beers is your watermelon wheat,
yes.
right? Which we will get to also. But tell us a little bit about 21st Amendment. And I don't know if you're just the brewer or the owner.
Yeah, I'm the brewer and one of the owners. There's two owners. So,
okay.
We've been open about 5 years. We're down there by SBC Park on 2nd Street. And prior to that, I was brewing at Triple Rock and Steelhead Brewing Company, and did a little stint at 20 Tank there in the city before they shut down.
Okay.
But we offer about 6 to 8 different beers on draft.
Okay.
At any one time, sometimes less, sometimes more. Sometimes we have guest beers on.
All right.
Prone to Drake's and
nice.
Speakeasy.
Is that because Roger from Drake's is dating your bartender?
I had nothing to do with that. Actually, I know they're listening right now. And I wanted to time it and see how fast Claudia's name came up. Because I think that was the last call, or the last show. Her name came right up at the beginning.
Oh, yeah. I'll tell you this, I don't know why.
Everybody got a kick out of that, actually.
Oh, they did. Good. I don't know why it took me this long, because before even the show, I was sitting here going, okay, I definitely got to make fun of Claudia really quick on the show, and then I just I got sidetracked. Hi, Claudia. We like you. You're cool.
You come back.
All right, there you go.
But forget about Roger.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Roger, you're all right, too. Hey, I'll tell you this. Actually, let me say this real quick.
Well, you're just mad because Roger took all your money.
Yeah, he did take my money. No, but you know what? Somebody else took his money, so it didn't matter. Roger, Roger, I think I owe you $40 still. My bad.
Come back and get
it. I got it for you. Actually, I might be having a poker game tomorrow night, Roger. I'll call you up. But here's what I was gonna say. Nice thing about Roger. I was at a brew pub last night, and I'll leave it.
No, really?
I'll leave it unnamed. And I had their IPA first, and then they had Drake's IPA on tap too. So I switched over to yours, Roger, and the Drake's was much better. That's a good IPA. Really like that one. So there you go. The brew pub didn't match up to yours. I drank yours for the rest of the night. Roger.
It wasn't the 21st Amendment, was it?
It was not. The first
good.
one? No, it was not.
Okay, good.
No. But I think I'm coming to your brew pub tomorrow. It's actually, I was going to spring this on you later, but what the hell? I like it when I get to put people on the spot. It's my birthday tomorrow. And we're looking for, I want to go to, I work at a brew pub, which is crap, and I don't want to go to that one.
So for your birthday?
So I was looking for another one, and I thought I actually have not been to 21st Amendment, so I'm looking for a place where we can have dinner. I want a brew tour and to be tasting some beers while I'm doing it, and then just to hang out and drink with some nice people like yourself.
Yeah.
So what are you thinking about that?
I think that's a great idea.
Can I get a tour tomorrow night?
I'll check the schedule. I think we can.
All right. Sweet. I'm talking like 10, 12 people here.
That's fine. That's totally fine.
That's all the friends I have. That's all I can get. I'll make it 13 if I can call you a friend by the end of the show, Shaun. Anyway, there you go. Enough about that. What's your seasonal that's on tap right now?
Well, right now it's the watermelon wheat. We're kind of getting towards the end of the season right now, and it's basically American style wheat beer, and we inoculate it with about 400 pounds of watermelon.
Wow.
And
when do you actually add it?
I can't actually talk about that part.
Okay, no worries.
I used to actually. It's one of those funny things. Fritz Maytag always talks about. He always gets his employees around right before they're about to do the Christmas ale, and he'll like sit them all down and say, "We have secrets in the brewery," because he doesn't want to tell anybody. He doesn't want to tell. It's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
And he. And so I decided, you know what, I'm not going to... I used to tell people all the time where it is. Yeah. I mean, you're brewers. You probably put 2 and 2 together here and figure it out, but...
That's not good enough. We don't like secrets, and we think that makes you a big jerk.
Jesus. Get out of here.
All right, I'll leave.
Leave your beer, get out of here.
Damn you.
But 400 pounds of watermelon is a lot.
400 pounds, and basically what I do is what I call meat it, and basically I scoop out all the red part and
by hand?
Puree it. By hand, yes.
What?
And, yes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
How often do you brew this?
We brew it probably once every 2 weeks.
Wow.
Go through a whole batch in like 10 days. Wow. People, it's insane. It's a great story because I'll have like, big brewery, guys that like you guys will come in and they're big stout drinkers or IPA drinkers or whatever. Yeah. And then they'll come up to me and they'll be like, in hushed tones, like, just Shaun, I want to let you know I really like the watermelon. and I'm always like, it's okay, you're fine, you're fine. You've got to, you're still in check. Man. Yeah, you're all right.
Yeah,
it'd be my little secret for you. So, it's great. I mean, it's just one of those weird things. It was funny because I was at a beer festival last week actually, and we were serving the watermelon wheat and the double IPA and imperial IPA and another beer, a pale ale actually. And I couldn't believe this. People would come up and I ran out of it because I run out of it all the time because people just dig it. And they were like, okay, I'll have the double IPA. I mean, like, can you believe that going like 180 degrees around to go into to a 9.5% alcohol beer with 100 IBUs? I mean,
right.
Please.
Yeah. At least they didn't go the other way.
Yeah.
Well, it's
I don't know what that means.
On this show, you never know. It's weird. It's like a Jolly Rancher. It takes me back to my childhood.
Jolly Rancher.
Well, are you guys drinking it right now?
Yeah, it's right here in front
of
us.
So are you.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. Yeah. Oh, wait. There you go.
Sissy.
So it's watermelon's in the same family as cucumber, actually, and so it almost has a vegetative flavor to it, which is actually, DMS is sort of described as being vegetative. So it some people are turned off by it. We've entered it in beer competitions like the Great America Beer Festival, and we never win that thing because it's not, melons are fairly they're not so acidic, so they're fairly alkaline, so they don't really match up to other fruit beers like cherries or raspberries or something like that. I mean,
you are right about the cucumber thing.
Yeah.
It's a fine line between watermelon and cucumber.
Yeah.
But whatever it is, it's
I hope you never have to find that out.
It's light enough either way to still taste like beer, which is what I don't like about fruity beers, is that they stop tasting like beer. This tastes to me a lot like a Weiss beer with that little bit of cucumber watermelon thing.
Yeah, it's and it changes actually. It's interesting. It's we're all brewers here, and we're all like sort of at the whim of what the ingredients are and how good they are from year to year.
Yeah.
But we start brewing this thing in March, and we get the melons from South America, and then as the harvest climbs up, it gets warmer as it moves further north. So we'll end up getting for a long time from Mexico. And actually, I just saw last week they were coming from California. So it's kind of interesting.
The aftertaste is interesting because it changes. It goes from cucumber back to watermelon.
It's like a bready watermelon.
Yeah.
It's good.
It's not overpowering. It's just like, what is that?
Yeah.
This particular batch, I think, is a little sweeter than other batches. Or you sort of get the sense of sweetness from it. I'm not quite sure what happened with the fermentation on this one, but it's definitely some batches are drier and some batches are a little sweeter. So
maybe you just need to add water willy nilly.
Like you.
The willy nilly edition.
Yeah.
400 pounds, 300 pounds.
I'm going to copyright that process right there. The willy nilly process.
You'll be at like some event or something like that. You'll hear some like Dr. Lewis from Davis going like, and yes, and we instigated the willy nilly process here.
Yeah. You all know that.
Yeah.
I would cry.
We actually created this term, a bunch of brewers and I created this term called the wetness factor, and it means absolutely nothing. But we've talked about it enough, and we usually would take our cell phones out and put the antenna in and look at it and go, "It's a wetness factor in this." And it was always a really weird thing. Like it went from like 3.365 to the scale was insane. It was like went out to like 3 or 4 digits.
Nice.
But we decided we would keep talking about it until it finally, Dr. Lewis or, Michael Jackson was writing about the wetness factor.
Oh no. That's great. That's great about small communities like ours, like the brew community, is that you can do stuff like that just to screw with people. Yeah. Do you do that in the dental industry, Doc? You just start talking about the
wetness factor.
I don't know.
We did in dental school because there's some weird names for different, parts of the mouth, the parts of teeth and stuff, like the cusp of Carabelli, and we had like the bulge of Lothamer,
right?
And the angle of Johansky, things like that.
When I go to see you, I'm gonna go, Doc, my angle of Johansky is killing me. You're gonna be like, yeah, you're at the wrong doctor for that. Well, I got to admit, Shaun, I would be one of the. I wouldn't order this at your brew pub because I would think that makes me a sissy. But I'd be one of those guys who said, "Dude, it's not bad.
Cool.
It's okay, it's not bad."
The way we serve it too is we serve it with a big slice of watermelon right on the side.
Are you serious?
Everybody's at the bar, this big slice of watermelon. They're all like, "I'm drinking the watermelon wheat."
There's no hiding it.
Look at him.
But it's the coolest thing in the world. I mean, look at, like a baseball game and like everybody's sitting in the bar, these watermelons. Just, it's like
that
summer,
cool.
Right.
Just getting a little sensitive there.
Okay.
It's okay.
All right. It's, the Brewing Network. We're with Shaun O'Sullivan, from 21st Amendment. We're going to start talking wheat beers like his watermelon wheat. If you have any questions, you can send them to Natty in the chat room, which is available on our homepage. Or you can call us up at 888-401-BEER. It's 888-401-2337, I think it is. So call up with your questions. I got some pre-questions from the chat room too for you.
Thanks,
I'll
Oz.
start with from
it was a Gucci.
both. I got it from both. Let me start with Oz though, because Oz is funny. He says, "Okay, I've been working on a wheat beer. Have no real idea what category it should fit into. He's been calling it a Weiss beer, but has no commercial beer to compare it to, and have no idea. It's basically 50-50 pills and wheat with yeast cultured from a bottle of Schneider Weiss. Hops to about 15 IBU, maybe a little more, and it has a nice banana tone. It's very pale and slightly cloudy. My question is, why does my beer taste so bloody good?" That's how he starts. But he goes on, he says, no, that's not really the question. He'd like to know how he can get the taste a little more tangy without adding citrus. And would an overnight mash do this, or maybe some Brett? That's the first part of his question. How can he get a little more tang into his wheat?
I think he could, let's see here. I mean, you could definitely add Brett, and that's definitely going to happen. I mean, that's going to take a little bit of time to work on it, though. But in terms of getting a little more tang, maybe up the wheat a little bit. Maybe ferment a little bit hotter, actually.
Okay.
Definitely. I mean, I don't know if he's controlling his fermentation, but you'll throw out a lot more esters if you crank the heat up on the fermentation.
But you're risking the banana tang then, too, aren't you?
Yeah, you definitely are, and it also depends on the yeast that you're using. I mean, the beers in southern Germany are a little bit more banana-like, and the ones in northern Germany, like Berliner Weiss and all that, are a little bit more phenolic. Yeah, exactly. And have a tendency to be a little bit more acidic. So you might want to try that, or just try switching yeasts. I mean,
okay. All right. His second part, you want to?
Well, I did answer kind of that in the chat on the forum a little bit, and I suggest you use some unmalted wheat.
Okay.
Throw
that would work,
because that is one trick somebody taught me, and the unmalted wheat does give you this tang that you can't.
I've never used unmalted wheat, but I have heard that if you
do you know
don't overdo it.
How does it do it? Like, what's the percentage that you actually?
I wouldn't add more than 10%. Do what he's doing, but replace some of the pills probably with about 10 or 15%. And don't go over that, and do one thing at a time. But
right.
And I said in the Brett experiment, it might be kind of fun.
Yeah. I just want to highlight the do one thing at a time at a dock. We've talked about that before. When you are going to change your bill, when you have a good beer and you're going for one thing to change, just change one thing at a time. Right. Don't try all these things at once. Don't add, the unmalted and change your yeast.
Yeah, because you might not get where you want to be. And
Unless you won't have any. We do that all the time. We sometimes do mix it up when you're like, whatever, let's just do this. But I mean, honestly, that's a good way to figure out what is that addition. How did that one thing change, and how did it affect that beer?
Because it might work and it might not for him,
and you won't know.
Yeah.
The second part of his question is that he, and we're going to have to convert this because you guys do that freaky Celsius system, but Doc, you'll be all right with that.
Yeah.
He mashes at 66 degrees Celsius.
Okay.
But he'd like it to be a little thinner on the final gravity. What temp does wheat malt like to be mashed at?
It doesn't matter because it's all the same enzymes. So it's what the enzymes like.
Okay.
If he wants it to be a little thinner, he wants it to be mid to high 40s, something like that.
Okay. His final is 10.8.
So, okay,
right now.
Yeah, that's pretty low.
Awesome. Yeah.
What is that? It's 2 plate. That's pretty low. I mean,
that's pretty dry beer. It's a pretty dry beer.
Yeah.
And I think he also said he wants it to have a little more body to it.
Yeah.
So a little bit of carapils maybe in there.
Okay.
I'm just going to do what I do and just make a bigger beer.
Add more hops.
No.
Sorry. It just slips out sometimes.
Dirty.
Kind of along the same lines of body and keeping that wheat in there. This question from the chat room asks, how does a beer like Hacker Shore, I'm not sure how they say that.
Hacker Shore.
Yeah.
How do they keep their wheat beers cloudy regardless of age? Anybody know that?
Well, there are some yeasts, as you know, that are more flocculent than others that don't settle out as much. So they stay in suspension longer. The yeast you use on your beer, the WLP 01, the Cali 01, is not too flocculent, so it will stay in suspension. That's why your beer looked a little bit cloudy. Other thing, actually, kind of interesting trick that Widmer does is they very popular American style wheat beers. They actually ship their kegs upside down. So when you go to put it back on, the idea is that you turn it back upright, and then all that yeast that's settled out in the keg is floating down towards the bottom. So
which is a good idea.
Puts a bunch of turbulence back in the beer, so turbidity back in the beer.
So it might be Hacker Shore has its own proprietary yeast that actually they bred so it does stay less flocculent.
Hey, Gucci, I know you're in the chat room there. Give us a call if you would. 888-401-BEER. I want to talk to you for a second.
It's nothing good.
It is nothing good. I'd like to get him on the air it's going to interrupt the discussion, but I think it's well worth it because he's a good guy, friend of the show. So call us up if you have the time. Hey, Shaun, what's your darkest beer? The chat room wants to know. My darkest beer would be a stout. I make several different types. I actually brought one in today. I kind of pulled it off the shelf as I was running out the door. It's Hendrick's Imperial Stout. And it's named after my dog. It's a brewhouse dog. Spends a lot of time in the breweries. Nice.
Half Rottweiler, half Bernese Mountain Dog. Weighs about 100 pounds.
Oh, that's cool. I should have told you to bring your dog.
Yeah, actually, that would have been a good idea. He loves beer.
Unless he would have eaten my dog.
No, he's a big pussy.
Good.
He is.
They would have gotten along just fine.
I know it's funny because when I walked through the door because I was running late and your dog was there at the door and I was like,
the pit bull.
I was like, I just said to him, "Are you going to bite me?"
Yeah. And she's
in my out loud voice too.
Did I say that?
No. But I'll sniff your butt if you let me.
She likes licking knees too.
She does. She's a licker, and she stinks.
From both ends.
Can we open up another one of your beers while we're carrying on this discussion?
More watermelon here.
You want to try something different? How about this one right here? You want to try this one?
Well, if you want to finish the watermelon, John hates to waste.
I'm a little disappointed with the watermelon because I didn't get a damn slice.
You should have told me.
We'll finish it fast because I want to open up a different one too.
I like this.
Thank you.
How about some questions from Gucci while we're waiting on the guy to call in if he has a chance? Do the Irish really make the best beer, Shaun?
Do the Irish make the best beer? Well, if you're an American brewer who's got an Irish ancestry, yeah, I think we do actually.
Then you have to say so. How do you determine what beers will sell at the bar?
It's one of those weird things. You have a captive audience there, and you try something, and if it sticks, then like the watermelon wheat's a prime example. I mean, we came up with this recipe, and we were like,
Who the hell would drink
what
that?
the heck is going on here? And then it just stuck. And it's like anything else. It just, you find out what the market bears. I mean, and sort of the rule at the brew pub is that we always have a yellow beer on, amber beer on, and IPA and pale ale, and then a dark, and then a seasonal.
Okay.
And so we'll, try to figure out what people like. I mean, I always look to the marketplace because they're going to tell me what, I sort of brew to style. I'm a style brewer. So if you walk into my pub, and you want a blonde, you're going to get a blonde. And it's going to be clean and crisp, and it's not going to be too over the top in terms of hops. But if you're an IPA drinker and you come into my pub, I'm going to hit you over the head with hops. Because I know that's kind of, so
that's
some brew pubs you go into, and it's like, they're sort of like, you can tell whether they're sort of like, oh, I don't want to go too big on this, on the hops, or I don't want to go too big on the malt end of it. So but you kind of have to figure out, you're in California. I mean, people want IPAs. Don't make a wimpy IPA. That's why you keep adding more hops to your beer, because you're trying to make it,
Well, I always hate,
I'm stupid.
I hate walking into a brew pub. I'm looking at a brew pub on the brew list, and what it says, an amber, an IPA, whatever it is, and I get it. That's not what this is.
Exactly.
Because I'm a style brewer too, and it's I want an amber. I expect an amber. I don't expect that.
Yeah.
And I want an IPA.
You
want
to get hit over the head with hops, is what you want.
Yeah.
That's what I want, at least.
Oh, look, it's a golden. These are pretty good. You like this one? Give it to my wife. She's like spitting on me.
Good wife.
Yeah.
Well, I know what she likes, and if I order something that I think she likes, and that's not what it is, she's gonna spit it on me.
I think women have better senses than men. I think they can actually
That's
smell
what you
better
call
more
them,
than men can.
Yeah, that's actually true. My assistant brewer, Steve McDaniel, his nose is okay, but he always talks about his wife, and her ability to sense things. So,
Yeah, Anna, she picks up like the worst flaws and everything. She's like, no. I'm like, okay, thanks, honey.
And by the way, you're stupid too.
Yeah.
You're gonna wear that shirt?
Yeah. All right, getting back to wheat beers for a second. Another question here is, what tips do you? I know you don't want to give away your little watermelon secret.
Well, let's just talk about generic fruit.
Well, that's the question. Is what tips do you have for homebrewers who want to try adding fruit to their brews? So if you could speak kind of generally, where can homebrewers do
When do you put the watermelon in?
Yeah. Jesus Christ, they're really beating me. Is the heat on here? No, the best place to add it, I think, is you want it to ferment. There's sugar in there. You want it to ferment.
Okay,
makes sense.
You alluded to that.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Do you filter this beer?
No, it's unfiltered. It's unfiltered, and it's using a WLP001.
Do you add any pectic enzyme to it?
Nope.
No enzymes?
It's very
no
clean for unfiltered, isn't it?
That's awesome. Do you lager it at all?
No, actually, it's a very quick ferment. It's 68 degrees, which is what most of our ales are. Sometimes 70, 72, because we're trying to get it on, and
fast.
Exactly. So, and
time is money.
Yeah, 10 days. We only have 4 fermenters, so we're just constantly filling those things up and draining them.
How often do you brew a week?
2 to 3 times a week.
Awesome.
Yeah. Right now, especially during baseball, I mean, it's
that's
crazy.
Awesome.
That's why when you come into the brewery and you see a couple of guest beers on there, you know that we had a problem.
Yeah.
But you could have worse problems. Running out of beer is not a bad thing.
Well, how come today 9 out of 10 of your taps are filled with Drake's beers, Shaun? Exactly. I was on vacation last week.
Exactly. I went to the Oregon Brewers Festival. My assistant went up with me, and I was gone for 5 days, and those were critical days. And it's always funny in brewing because it's like a slow punch. What you do today or what you don't do today is going to affect you 2 weeks from now.
Gotcha.
And that's exactly what happened. I just said, you know what? We're going to be screwed.
Right.
It's going to happen, and I know it.
And it's hard to relax when you know that.
Well, you know what? I've been doing it for 12 years, so I'm like, whatever. The cool thing about, actually, when we opened up the 2-1A, we didn't have a license to brew yet, so I had to put guest beers on it. And this was actually interesting stories. I called up the local distributors, Golden Brands in Montegrano, and they came down and they gave me all this tapping equipment and all that, and just hooked me up. And so I got that stuff still to this day, and it was just, and I got to pick the beers I wanted to have on. So you want to, that was kind of cool. It was like my own little tap bar there for about 2 weeks. So.
Nice. Yeah. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Doc, what about you when you're doing your fruit? Are you putting it in the fermentation too?
I've done both. It depends on the fruit, but I'm with him. It's got sugar in there, and I like to experiment.
You do it in wine.
Yeah, I've done it after in the secondary. I've done it before. It's still going to ferment. I usually don't add it to the keg, and I've done both. I've done some in the mash or beforehand, and then added some later too. Just depends.
What do you think about hop backing watermelon?
He said hop back.
Drink, everybody drink.
Boing.
That's the secret word.
Yeah. We should have a word of the day. Today's phrase
And the
is
duck comes down.
hop back in.
You don't tell the guest brewer or whoever like it is, and then all of a sudden everybody's like, "Hey,
Ding, 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 ding. Yeah.
he said it."
We all pour beer on you.
Wait.
Yeah.
We're having too much fun.
Everybody drink.
Here's a question, and let me finish it because the first part of the question is a question that I have,
Let me finish.
and the second part is just good. It's from Gucci. What is play your iPod in the loft for $5? Why don't you stick to beer garden and baseball? That's what he says in the end. But actually, I did read this on your website. You guys have a promotion, which I think is very clever, where you bring your iPod, you get to play your iPod and sit in your loft, which I as of yet don't know what it is. And for $5 you get to drink beer and play your iPod, right?
Exactly. It's done on Wednesday nights, and it's also our cask condition night. We offer, we put a firkin up on the bar and pour the beer out of that.
Okay.
And it's up in the brewer's loft or the mezzanine, and you bring your iPod, and it doesn't cost $5. It's free, and just, you know, let it roll.
Like, meaning you plug it into the house PA?
Yeah, upstairs.
And so you gotta,
exactly.
so everybody gets to listen to your music.
Yeah,
That's
for 20 minutes, yeah.
Gotcha. And how's that working out for you?
It's actually working out really well. I mean, it's kind of popular. It's been pretty popular. I mean, got a write-up in the New York Times about it.
Okay.
And, Chronicle.
How big does the queue get? So you come in and
It-
I
you
gotta
know,
wait 3 hours to plug in?
Sometimes it's big, sometimes it's small. It really depends on what's happening.
Good idea.
So.
Right. Well, definitely on the business side, it's a clever move.
So since we know you, though, we can just come in.
Yeah, you guys
cut
just
the
you're not
line.
going to be like, let these guys in.
Let me tell you right
Like
now.
Sean
Rage.
said, we're in.
Don't let Dr. Scott plug his iPod.
The Grateful Dead all day.
Nah, you get some banjo music in. That's fine.
He's got the tie-dye on.
Yeah. I'm not saying it'll be bad music. I'm saying everyone will be stoned and naked by the end of his 20 minutes. Which might not be a bad thing. I don't know.
Yeah.
Depends
Hey,
on
well,
the guest
good for
list
Doc.
that night.
Well, John was talking about, his wine here, the blood red color, but
Yeah.
clear and fruity. It's
Yeah.
like my urine after Burning Man.
Oh, man. I believe
That
it.
good, huh, Doc? Thanks.
No,
You know what?
Just a description.
I'd have been right
That's
with you.
awesome.
That would have been me after Burning Man. That's why I don't go to those things, Doc. That's just bad
Hey,
news.
come on, we'll chew you up.
I've realized that I'm too old for that. You haven't.
No. I refuse to know
Hey,
that.
no, actually, I totally. The first time I heard you go to Burning Man, I was nothing but respect. That's awesome.
Hey, it's my
And now that
seventh time.
and now that I know you come back peeing blood, even more respect.
Actually, I was just kidding about that. I didn't pee for 3 days.
Oh man,
It's hot out there.
is
dry.
there a problem with human waste out at Burning Man?
No, they have more porta potties than you could ever imagine.
Is that right?
Yes. The big thing is people don't throw other crap into the porta potties.
Right.
Because they will stop putting the porta potties out there. They say if it doesn't come out of your body,
Yeah,
was it poop, puke, or pus, don't put it in the porta potty.
right. Okay.
So no, there's not really.
Hey, this is
not
a
really
great
issue.
watermelon beer, by the way.
You know what I liked about the Portland? I was at the Oregon Brew Fest
Oh wait,
too.
I had something to ask him. When you came back after 5 days, did you feel as bad as he did?
After
He
the
looked
Oregon
bad.
Brew Fest.
He felt bad.
It was a struggle. I mean, it is. It's definitely one of those things. I mean, I ate more meat. I think I still haven't lost the weight that I put on that trip. I
Quick,
mean,
measure him.
Yeah, exactly. Where's
Daniela?
Daniela? We need it. What I liked, I don't know if I liked it the best. I don't want to say I liked it the best because that it just reveals my freakiness even more than you already know. I like that the outhouses at the Oregon Brew Fest, their brand, it's called the Honey Pot.
Yeah, I saw that.
Isn't that great? Like that's the company name, and it's on all of the outhouses. It just says the Honey Pot.
Well, that's the unofficial word or the name for that truck that comes and sucks them out of there.
That's the honey
the
pot.
honey wagon.
The Honey White, right?
Ugh.
I just like it. I think we should change the name of our
Yeah.
show to the Honey Pot.
The Honey Network.
The Sunday Honey Pot on the Brewing
Do a
Network.
show based. Oh my god.
It's a bunch of shit sometimes.
Yeah.
It's the
Throw
same
some,
difference.
throw some yeast in there.
Yeah, you'll get Vegemite.
Let's see. From the chat room, where does 21st Amendment distribute?
We actually don't really distribute. About probably 95% of all the beer we serve is over the taps. You'll see it at the Tornado occasionally. You'll see it at tap bars that I frequent, like Barclays in the East Bay, Ben and Nick's Cato's. It's at a couple hotels actually in San Francisco. But I mean, I just don't have enough beer right now to keep those people happy. So
Gotcha.
I just serve it all basically at the bar for now. But
Okay.
look for it in the future.
All right.
Do you plan on branching out at all? Like more?
Yeah, actually, I mean, there's plans of packaging and getting that out there, putting the watermelon into a package, and maybe opening up another place. But right now, it's we're just trying to keep this restaurant. I mean, right now we've been here for 5 years, and we finally turned the corner.
Okay.
We opened probably the worst time in the city of San Francisco.
Right.
So it's happening.
Okay.
Right on.
You guys are doing well now, then?
Oh yeah, it's great.
Yeah, there's talk about you. I'll tell you that.
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
people talk, so that's good news.
That's it's one of those things where it's kind of like. It's kind of like the head down mentality, where if Nico Freitas is the other, my business partner, and when we just have the firm attitude about, and not to pitch you at all, but I mean just that we are positive about the experience and all that. We're, good owners. We try to have good beer and good food and good service, and it's just that's our attitude. I mean, it's in our souls, and that's just what it's all about. We're not going to cut corners or, in certain areas, and that's just what we're about. So,
well, you'd be surprised how many people don't have that attitude. So it's
a lot.
It's not weird to say.
Well, in San Francisco, it's really a hard city to do a restaurant in, and you really have to have that attitude, or else you will not, you won't survive. So.
What is the 21st Amendment?
I know, I was waiting for that. The 21st Amendment is the repeal of the 18th Amendment to the Constitution. It is which was the Prohibition Amendment to the Constitution. Mm-hmm. So it is the repeal of Prohibition. It's about 6 lines, I think, and basically it makes everything today possible that we're doing in the studio right now.
Right.
Drinking.
Right.
Making it.
Well, at least legally.
Yeah.
Well, at least legally, exactly.
Is the station legal?
Don't ask. Which part? The part we're doing right now is legal.
Okay.
I'll tell you that.
Enough said.
Let's leave it at that for
Drink
now.
your beer real quick. Your watermelon beer.
Yeah. What do you?
Suck it
So
up.
that was getting back to that a little bit. It's like that was 13 dark years in the.
Yes, it was.
It was like that was from the
20 to
1920 December 5th, 1933.
God, what a sad. That just makes me
And
sad.
see, it was even after the crash.
Yeah.
And so people were poor and thirsty.
Yeah, exactly.
Although people like you were making a fortune during that time, so it wasn't all bad.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah.
Yeah. There definitely were some fortunes made during Prohibition.
Those Canadians were making a lot of money too.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And the Kennedys.
Yeah.
And the Kennedys, the Canadians and the Kennedys. Damn them.
Same difference. All right. What kind of cask do you use for your cask conditioning?
A wooden one.
No, we use a Firkin, which is a size actually, and it's I think it's 10.8 gallons. And
You can't say Firkin on the radio.
Can I say Firkin? Did I ask you about that first? Can I say Firkin?
Say it 3 times fast.
And we throw it up there, and it's typically IPA. I'll be honest with you, because I've done other Firkins, but it's the most popular one. So sound like a little schoolgirl there for a minute. It's out of the Firkin. We tap it. It's awesome.
Sorry, buddy. And so
nobody else does that. But
you throw the Firkin right up on the bar on iPod night. Then.
Yeah.
Nice work.
Firkin's up.
All right, we're going to take a little break. We'll be back. It is the Brewing Network. You can reach us at 888-401-BEER if you have any questions for Shaun or just questions about wheat beers, because we can keep that discussion going too. I told you it's rock and roll night, so again, turn down your speakers or turn them up. It depends on whether or not you like it. That's up to you. The Brewing Network, 21st Amendment. Join us. Ask your questions.
You're listening to a bunch of guys talk about beer. You're listening to a bunch of guys talk about
Let's try to trip you guys out.
You're listening to a bunch of guys talk about beer.
It's like the row your boat intro.
You're listening to a bunch of guys.
You're listening to a bunch of guys talk about beer.
You're listening to a bunch of tools.
That's the techno version.
Yeah.
As much fun as we're having, I wanted Gucci to call in because I got a note. I guess he's gone now, huh, Natty? He's not in the chat room. He had to go to sleep. Gucci, for those of you who don't know him, and most of you don't, not that we discriminate between our listeners. We love all of you. Certain listeners are much more active in the chat room, are always sending in questions, and we appreciate it. And we just get to know them. That's all. And we've gotten to know Gucci a little bit. He's been hanging out with us for a while, and he is in I don't know which division. He's in the U.S. Army. He's in the Air Force. He's a pilot in the Air Force. Yeah. He actually, the last I heard this morning, there was a chance he was going to actually fly out here to Travis. He was going to surprise us and pop into the show. Yeah. But it didn't happen. It changed. And I just got a note when he was in the chat room a few minutes ago that he's being deployed tomorrow.
To where?
I would imagine Iraq.
Where are you deployed to?
Yeah. If I had,
hey, we're everywhere.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure because I don't think the note would have gotten to me if it didn't mean he was getting deployed to Iraq. And I think he's already been there also, but now they're sending him back. And
bring beer.
Yeah, bring beer. I just want to say I'm sorry to hear that. I know he's not. Well, listen, he's not against going. He's in the military, but I also know he wanted to be home and kind of do his thing. So. I want to give our best wishes out to him then and be safe. He had to crash. He never crashed out early. He's with us till the end, but he must have to go early in the morning. And he was up with me during the Blue Show today too. So I don't know. What do you say? Good luck, and our thoughts are with you. And let us know. Send us an email if you get a second. I don't know what happens over there. I don't know how busy you're going to be.
I talked to him on the phone, and he tells me actually he listens to all our shows while he's doing his missions.
Right.
Yeah.
Which to me is
he's up probably 20 hours a day, 4 or 5 hours sleep.
Fail all those missions listening to us idiots.
But he's listening to our shows back to back on his iPod probably.
Yeah. Well, our thoughts are with you, man, and I don't know, be well.
Hurry back soon.
And take care and come back and let us just give us an update if you get a second anytime.
Yeah.
So there you go. And all of our listeners out there, I don't know, there's probably a bunch more that don't talk to us that might be in the military too, so we're with all you guys, Be careful and take care. Because people are sending you over there, and that sucks. So there you go.
Peace.
That's my 2 cents without getting too political.
Yes.
All right. Shaun from 21st Amendment is in the studio with us. I'm going to send him off to Iraq if he doesn't shape up. No, you're doing great. We're happy to have you. I'm getting questions all over the place here. I just don't know which one to start with.
There's no racial profiling of him.
Yeah. Do you age or condition any of your beers in oak?
No, I do not. No, actually, that's not true. I have a 60-gallon wild turkey barrel that I've been playing with a little bit, and as a matter of fact, Vinny and I are doing this little project up at Russian River. I took 60 gallons of watermelon wheat up there, and we put it in an oak barrel with a 5-gallon Brett starter and 6 gallons of watermelon puree, and see what's going to happen with that. So
okay,
that's kind of like a fun little adventure.
And you guys are going to keep all 60 gallons, aren't you?
All of it.
We'll have to invite him back.
Yeah.
Tell us when.
When's that?
Actually, it's a funny story because Dave Keene, who I was hanging out with last night from the Tornado at Tommy's out on Geary there, the tequila place, and there's a big joke because I was like, "Come on, put the watermelon wheat on." It's more of like kind of a badge of honor. He goes, "No, I'm not going to put it on." I go, "What are you talking about? You got these other, Belgian fruit beers. I'm adding fruit like anybody else. It's not an extract fruit like some of the big breweries do." And so Vinny came up with this idea. I got an idea. Why don't we put your beer in an oak barrel, with Brett, and let's see what happens, and we'll get it on there.
Call it a Belgian.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Captain Belgian himself.
We're calling it, we're funkifying it. Watermelon funk.
Watermelon.
You should be like Frankifying it. All right, how about some biz questions for you about the brew pub?
Cool.
What was the hardest part about opening your brewery?
Raising money.
Yeah?
100%.
Okay.
I was funny because I was telling you guys earlier during the break that I had another job before this, so I was in the corporate legal world, and I saw, money all the time. It's like, all these big deals, billion-dollar deals and all this. And I told my business partner, Nico, I said, money's not a problem. Don't worry about it. We can't think about the money. And we had to be that naive to kind of go through with it, because it took about 2 years to get all the money together.
Okay.
And it was, just imagine like anything, like asking friends to give you money, and then it spreads and it spreads and it spreads, and we had to raise $1.5 million to open that place. So,
yeah.
And it was,
Wow.
Yeah, it was.
And that's frustrating.
That's the hardest part. That is definitely the hardest part. If you have the money, you can never have enough of it.
Right.
So wouldn't it have been easier just to raise the $1.5 million and then go to Nicaragua.
Or be a home brewer.
Thanks, everybody.
It would have been.
See you later. All right, then. And I guess I don't know if it was 2 years just to raise the money, but the other question is, how long did it take you to open the brewery after the idea was thought about?
Well, the idea happened a long time ago, and it was one of those things where Nico and I kind of ran into each other. He was working at the Celebrator Beer News as actually, interesting story real quickly. He and I were living in Southern California. I didn't know him, and I moved up here to brew, and he moved up here to brew basically around the same time. And he started, I was working at Triple Rock. I was, this greenhorn brewer there,
Is that with Christian, who we had on here, or before?
No, actually, no, it was way before Christian. In fact, that's a funny story there too, real quickly. I'm actually responsible for Christian's demise. I mean, his success in the industry. I was the one that pulled him into the brewery.
Gotcha.
But this is exactly. So it was way back in the day, and I moved up here, and Nico was doing a story for the Celebrator, and he came by Triple Rock, and we, I gave him a tour, and we just started talking and hanging out. Then I met him out. I was taking some courses at UC Davis on sanitation and microbiology, and he was taking the course actually to write about it for the Celebrator. And then we started talking a little bit more, and we sort of had the same things in common. He had opened restaurants in Los Angeles, and kind of got into it there. And then we just said, you know what? Let's just do it. Let's open it up. And so we just started writing a business plan, and then we just raised the money, found the space, and that was that.
Wow. Although
the way I say it sounds like it was nothing, but I don't know if you notice I'm sweating right now. We actually they had a big write-up about us in the Celebrator for a 5-year anniversary this past issue, and I remember sitting with Jay Brooks, and who was the writer on it and who's interviewing us, and we were counting the stories of opening it up, and I was like, God, I think I want to throw up right now.
Yeah.
So
you know what that means, Jay?
What's that?
We should, we'll be there one day.
Okay. We're lucky we're here.
Yeah, okay.
I'll tell you that right now.
No, there has to be a work ethic here.
Hey. I hope you're talking to someone else. You're talking to Shaun or something. He doesn't do anything anymore. He's open now. Sits around scooping watermelon all day.
They throw the big bags of Hundies in the back of my car as I slow down and drive off. And then it's hookers and blow.
Yeah! Very nice.
Well, it's actually funny because as you were telling me the story about you and Nico and getting together and doing all this, it sounded like the storyline with Johnny Depp in Blow. It did. The movie?
Right.
It did.
Yeah. That's how we're going to rate. Yeah. John, listen, let me tell you right now. If we're opening anything and there's any money to be raised, it's going to be through Coke and hookers because my brew pub job isn't going to pay it. Neither is yours.
Thanks.
Well, everything's retro. We can go back to the 80s.
Yeah.
Call it Honey Ale.
Open a brew pub here in the studio.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm going to
Sissy Ale.
Hey, we almost got the police called because of the flamethrower. Yeah, let's open a brew pub.
Can you really blame them? A 40-foot flame going out of the back of the house.
It is loud.
It's cool though.
Yeah. Yes, it was.
When I was doing the show this morning, I was being spoken to about my new brew pub job. You want a little update? It's gotten slightly better.
Tell me.
It's not as bad. Yeah. You weren't here for all this either, were you?
No, I'm new to this.
God, it seems like you've been gone for ages.
Yeah.
Yeah, I started the job at the new brew pub, and I'm a server, and I hate it.
I had dinner there last night.
I'm working on getting into bartending.
Wait. I remember your very words were, I could be a bartender, I could be a server. I don't care. I just don't care. I could be both.
Yeah, that's what I thought until I started there. And then for one, I remembered that I hate serving. I hate it. I hate it. Am I being clear enough here?
Yeah. How do you feel? Talk to me.
I hate it so much that I can't sleep at night.
Oh, don't gild the lily here.
Don't
sugarcoat it.
No.
Would you rather be
I'd rather be bartending. I've been bartending for a while, but you got to start at this particular place as a server. Whatever, it's fine. I'm going to deal with it.
That doesn't add into why you hate it.
It started out really bad, but it's getting better. I'm changing my attitude about it. It's serving its purpose. It's keeping my part of the brewing network alive at the moment, and the hours are good enough to that I'm there short enough time, make some tips, get back to the studio, do some work, things like that. The reason I bring up this story though is that one of my listeners told me to hit you up for a job if I hate it so much. He's like, well, don't you got Shaun coming in today? And I was like, yeah, he's our guest. He's like, well, why don't you start using your contacts, man?
Yeah.
Hit the boy up for a job. So, hey, you looking for a bartender or what?
He's good with people.
I mean, Claudia's all right.
How are your people skills?
But, yeah, right. I'll get back on the air and talk about your brew pub like I do my brew pub right now.
Yeah.
Come on, put Claudia. Claudia's been there long enough. She could do something else.
Yes.
Oh, wait, you guys could change seats.
I'll work with Claudia. I'll be Claudia's barback for a while, and then I'll pick up a shift or two. What do you got, Natty? You got a phone call? You got Gucci? Oh, there we go.
Darren.
That's cool. All right, hang him up. I'll pick him up. Hey, Darren, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Hey, what's happening?
Oh, not much.
What's this deployment business I hear?
Yeah, it was kind of amazing. I was already through my 12th beer and got a phone call saying show up tomorrow morning at 5 a.m. and with your mobility bag and your Kim suit and all the rest of that stuff, and bring your dog tags. So
that means you're headed.
Yeah.
That means you're headed over there, or what?
Who knows?
You don't really know.
Both dog tags?
You just know you're headed somewhere.
All I know is that I've only got 2 more years to go through this. So
you don't sound happy, Darren. I'm sorry to
then
hear
you could
that.
hit Shaun up for a job.
Yeah. Hey, we'll both go over to 21st Amendment, sit at his doorstep.
Bring them all down.
Me and you, Darren.
well, that's right. Justin and I were working on that angle this morning, Shaun.
Yeah. See? Attaboy.
We're going to both go over to UC Davis, and we're going to get hired by you. How about that?
I think that'll work.
That'll work that
You
way.
need a corporate pilot? I can fly for you.
That's what I was going to say.
we
When
need
you
one.
want to go to OBF
Actually, I
in
do
2
need a
years,
pilot.
Or
then
distribution.
Darren can fly you,
Yeah.
and I could serve cocktails on
ship
the
our
plane.
shirt- we could ship our
What the
shirts.
hell I do?
Hey, Shaun.
Yes.
Hey, Thanksgiving and I guess Halloween's coming up. I need some help on a pumpkin stout. What can you help me out there? I know you can't help me out with the watermelon.
We keep trying.
Actually, we do make at the 21st Amendment, we do make a beer called Holiday Spice Ale, and I can't talk about it. No, no, a pumpkin stout. It's funny. We used to make this pumpkin spice beer, I think, at Triple Rock way back in the day. John Paxman, who was the head brewer and I was the assistant at the time, actually worked at Buffalo Bills, and they were kind of popular for that, and down in Hayward. And it's funny because pumpkin doesn't really have a huge flavor to it, but everybody thinks about pumpkin pie as being, as being kind of like pumpkin spices. So it's not so much if you add pumpkins, it's actually the spices. So when you think about pumpkin, you think about nutmeg, cinnamon, allspice, clove, exactly. So that's kind of what sort of triggers people off. I wouldn't go heavy. And the rule of thumb is always go light on the nutmeg. Okay. Everybody always goes big on the nutmeg.
Oh, and you can smoke nutmeg.
And you can't smoke. I don't know.
I
haven't done that yet.
I read a Zymergy article where a guy actually just threw a couple pumpkin pies into his beer, and people were loving it.
Oh shit!
Yeah, it's got all the sugar.
Yeah,
and
just the right amount of nutmeg.
It's already cooked.
Yeah. It's all there. He just
that's a good idea.
He threw his grandmother's pumpkin pie right into the beer.
Tell grandma that.
And he did it for fermentation as well.
Wow.
So because you're talking about you don't go overboard on this and that. It's the same principle of making a pie.
You're right. You got it all there. It's like adding like the big beer tablet or something like that.
I have brewed a couple of pumpkin pie type ales.
Yeah,
it's a bitch.
Yeah,
because you got to cube them up and cut the husk off, and you got to cube them and put them in the mash. It's a lot of work. Throw the pie in. Throw the pie in.
Actually, but it might.
Fine, I'll just stick to cider.
Yeah, right.
Send some cider.
But the pumpkin might add like a little. It might add some body to it because none of that stuff's going to be degraded in the mash, so it actually might lend itself to a stout. I mean,
and you could enter it as a vegetable beer.
Yeah,
nice.
So is it better to add it to the ferment or add it to the mash?
Mash.
Yeah, because you've got a lot of starches in there.
Exactly.
So go for it. You're going to get a lot more out of it if you add it to the mash.
Okay.
What are you worried about? It's too hot to brew in Iraq, man. Can't ferment over there.
I have no idea where I'm going.
Can you even get ingredients?
You must know where you're going. You just can't talk about it.
No, they wouldn't tell me.
Really?
It sounds short,
they didn't even.
I might be back in a couple of weeks.
When did they even tell you? A couple hours ago?
Last night.
No, I just got a call. It was 15 minutes ago. I already brushed my teeth. I got a call from a longtime lurker who happens to be related to me, and he said, "Call over."
Oh, wow.
And he also wanted me to let you guys know what a honey pot is.
Oh, yeah.
It's actually back referred during Vietnam that back when people had to burn the crap buckets.
Yeah.
That, they would call it the honey bucket.
Okay.
The honey bucket is actually diesel.
Yeah.
And that's what you take a crap into, and then
You
in order to get rid of the waste.
Put some aviation fuel in it and light it up.
Yep.
Gotcha. All right. Hey, let me ask you this. When they call you up and they say be here and they don't tell you where you're going, does it generally end up being better than you expect or worse than you expect?
Well, better than I expect would be Las Vegas.
Right. Well, because what I'm thinking is that sometimes they tell you where you're going, right? And at the times that they do, I'm wondering how often that ends up that you're like, oh no, this isn't good.
Well, I was supposed to be in Fairfield this week, and I knew I was supposed to go there, and then they said no. Okay. So that's worse.
Did you even tell them that, hey, 5 o'clock? I wouldn't even be sober by then.
Yeah, that's the reason I was trying to go to bed.
Oh, right. No, we wouldn't let you do that.
Oh, no.
What airplane do you fly?
I fly the KC-10, which is a military version of the DC-10.
Right. You want me to make some phone calls for you, Gucci?
Yeah, because we can get you fired.
Yeah. Could do that.
Yeah, that's exactly.
Or in jail, at least.
Are you sure 21st Amendment or the Brewing Network doesn't need a corporate pilot?
I got to tell you, I would love a corporate pilot.
Yeah. But neither one of us are going to pay you.
No.
Yeah.
Well, beer.
We pay you with beer.
Yeah.
Do the trip. Do the trip to San Rafael or something like that for a beer festival. Show up in a big DC-10. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
That would be awesome.
And pull out 2 kegs.
Now,
Exactly.
Only 2?
Yeah. Well, that's the whole thing. It's the big and the small.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
now, Darren, are you going to do the commercial pilot route when you get out of there?
Who knows?
You're not sure, huh?
I like working for 21st Amendment. That sounds pretty good.
Yeah, that sounds
Well, I'll
fun.
buy you a beer when you come back.
How about that?
How about that? I'm trying to get out of this one.
I'll go to my iPod.
You bring your iPod.
Yeah, there you go. Now, all right, since we're talking iPods here, you really listen to us while you're on your missions?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And that doesn't screw shit up?
Well, he's not dropping bombs or anything.
Yeah, you don't know.
Well, it's not like that. If you guys had a webcam, then yeah, that's how you pick things up.
Right.
Hey, wait a minute. Can we get a webcam?
No, shut up, Doc.
Hold on. No.
There's no webcam coming. You guys can forget it.
It's because we're all naked?
We're
Is that what you're saying?
We're too ugly.
Yeah. We all got faces.
I was wondering why we called
the
the thing
webcam of Miller.
I know. You all just want the corner of the chat. You want the chat room cam, the chat cam.
Yes.
Although today you'd be looking at Natty. Natty's a looker. He's all right.
That's awesome.
Yeah, but he's married. You didn't say it was to a guy or not.
Well, Darren,
Well, I'm sure Oz would be interested in Natty, so that's okay.
Oz.
You can fly him over there.
All right. Hey,
Hey,
Darren.
Shaun, one last question. I'm a big cider, man. You gotta let me know, what do you guys do with cider?
We actually, we can't make cider technically because of the laws, but because of the man. But
keeping you down.
You elected Gavin Newsom, so he's your fault.
Yeah.
That's not the man keeping him down.
It's a different man.
It's the anyway. We exactly the VAT. Anyway, we actually get our cider from a local cidery in Sacramento called Two Rivers, and Vinny out there. He, makes all these great ciders, and we serve his ciders. So it's a nice product. It's not one of the big mass-produced ciders. It's good cider. And I just was talking to Dave Keene again last night from Tornado, and he's got a new one out here, pomegranate cider, which has been a huge seller. So I'm thinking about maybe bringing that one in.
Nice.
So I got a pomegranate in one hand and a watermelon in the other.
Yeah, exactly.
I think it's the Two Rivers guy that we're going to work on to get in here for the cider.
Yeah,
he's great. He's a good guy.
We can do that.
Yeah,
sure.
So we'll get that for you.
Yeah, I got a crappy cider to bring.
We'll wait for you. Even tell us where. You don't have to tell us where you're going. Just tell us when you're going to be back, and we'll wait for you.
No, we should do
Be
it
back
there.
soon.
All right.
Yeah.
At least he said it wouldn't be long, so I'll see you guys soon.
All right.
Would they really care if you flew the plane out to San Francisco?
It's a detour.
I tried.
Just tell them
You tried.
the compass is off.
Well, you could go just keep going and come around the other side.
Attention, Gucci pilot. Turn the plane around. That is not the way to the Middle East.
You are in hostile airspace. You are over Michigan.
Yeah, we have thought about flying underneath the Golden Gate Bridge.
What?
It's been done.
You did it not in that plane, did you?
I've only thought about it.
Oh, you thought about it. Gotcha.
You should do it and resign.
Sweet. Yeah. They
Well,
did
you
it.
have to.
Cool.
They did all that stuff in Top Gun. Isn't it the same thing?
Yeah. Come on.
Can't you do flybys? Okay.
That's right.
Sorry. Showing my
her name is Charlie. You don't salute her, but you listen to what she says.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, I know the lines. All right, guys.
Hey, please let us know just that you're cool, and just drop us an email or something, and we wish you luck.
Yeah.
I'll be back soon. Don't worry about it.
All right, Darren. We'll see you.
All right, see you guys.
Take care.
Well, we should
Bye.
definitely plan a show around him, cider based, when he's in here.
If he's back in a couple weeks, like he says, that's fine. That'll work out.
Well, Morgan from EJ Fair knows the guy from Two Rivers, so
okay. So does Vinny. Vinny says he's going to call.
Okay.
We're good. We're going to get him in here.
Everybody knows everybody.
It is. It's actually that's true.
Yeah.
It's a nice little network.
Yeah, which means our guests are getting slim.
Yeah.
They all leave in and are like, yeah, don't go there, dude.
what do you do next
That's
week?
not true. People talk this place up, actually.
Oh, that's good.
You're getting a buzz out there.
Oh, we're famous.
I wouldn't go that far, Doc.
No, you're not famous.
Hey, Doc, you're famous.
Can we borrow some money?
Sure.
Okay. Can we take a mortgage out on your home?
We always ask at the end of the show.
Yeah.
Of course.
Right. We're going to take another break. We're going to come back. We're going to finish up. It's actually not going to be a 3-hour show, I think.
Why do you want to finish up?
Because.
Okay.
But can we open up some more of your beer? Are all these bottles I'm looking at each different styles of beer?
Just the unopened ones.
Yes. All right, we got some work to do because I didn't come here to just try watermelon. You know what I'm saying? So why don't we take a break, crack open a couple of these things,
and let's tell people about 21st Amendment different beers.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's talk about each beer as we pull them up.
Okay.
And
Let's eat
what
some more
we did.
Vegemite.
Of course, you won't give us any secrets, but we can go with that.
I'll give you all of them.
Yeah.
But that one.
Okay.
Everything but that one. All right, kids, it's the Brewing Network. We're with Shaun O'Sullivan from 21st Amendment. You can reach us at 888-401-BEER or join us in the chat room. You can also go to your website has a dash in it, so I don't want to screw it up. Give us your website.
It's 21st. It's www.21st-amendment.com. If you do it all as one word, it'll go to a liquor store in the Midwest.
Nice. So put the hyphen in there.
I put the hyphen in there.
All right, there you go. It's a good website too. It'll tell you all about things. We'll be right back.
You're listening to the Brewing Network.
Yeah, and we're here with 21st Amendment. We got Shaun O'Sullivan hanging out with us. It's the it's sort of the wheat beer show. Not a lot of wheat beer brewers out there today, though. So not a ton of questions coming through. I guess I guess wheat beer season is almost over. Just like you guys are ending the watermelon. What are you gonna brew next? What goes on tap after that?
I've got an Oktoberfest coming on. Actually, we just brewed it the other day, so it'll be like the way Oktoberfests are traditionally enjoyed in this country in October, right. And probably be on the second week of October. But and then after that, it's our holiday spice beer, which is right around in November. So
gotcha. What are we drinking right now?
We're drinking Hendrick's Imperial Stout. So this is probably 9.5% alcohol, named after the brew house dog, and I probably brewed this. I think I brewed this last December, and we had it on for our Strong Beer Month, which we do with Magnolia Pub and Brewery every February, and it's definitely held up. I think it's held up.
Yeah, it's great.
I mean, I grabbed it when I was running out the door. I was like, I want to bring some interesting things in here. So on my way out, I was like, all right. So pulled it out of the library, and that was it.
It's extremely malty.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's a big malt flavor in there.
It's almost got an oak character to it.
Yeah, it's got a little tannin to it. I don't know where that's from, but
it's tasty.
And
this is the same that you have on tap there, or no?
Well, we're not serving this right now. This was served back in February, so it's just it's a seasonal. Like we do it for Strong Beer Month. We'll typically put an Imperial Stout along with the 3 other strong beers. So
okay,
he's holding out.
You got a phone call? Let's pick up the phone there. Brewing Network, you're on the air.
Hey, this is Troy Feddersen.
Hey, Troy, what's happening?
Hey, I got a couple questions for you. First of all, I'm looking forward to hearing about 21st Amendment beers before the end of the show because I'm not too familiar with them.
Okay.
We got a few to taste here, and we're gonna go through each one and tear them apart.
Well, we could be
we're gonna walk home.
We could be. That's true.
But hey, I'm going to the Great American Beer Festival end of month.
Okay.
Have any of you guys ever been to that?
I've been there.
I have.
John's been
there.
there.
Dr. Scott bought me a few lap dances there, so.
Hey, we had a smoking last night there.
Yeah, we did.
You realize that none of the discussion so far is about the festival itself.
It's good. It's sectioned into areas of the country. West, east, north, south kind of thing.
Okay.
You really want to move into what do I want to do tonight? So if you're going to go for all the days, buy all the days.
Okay.
And have a theme for each one. And I wanted to try to find every Belgian I could.
Yeah.
And that worked out pretty well. And then try every IPA you can.
Yeah.
Try for that. And then last night is just pretty much to see how hammered you can get.
And you just fall asleep in a different bush every night?
They do run out of beer. They by the last night, all the good stuff's pretty much gone.
And Doc was
They've run
angry.
through everything.
He was angry.
Because they
last
ran out?
night, he comes out of the John, right?
Yeah. Out of the honey pot?
Out of the honey pot.
Yeah.
He walks out and be like, hey, this jerk and a half just started talking shit at me with the stall. This, like, hip-hop guy comes out, right?
Hip-hop guy.
He flicks off us both, like, on the other side of the house.
Gives you the finger,
At
yeah.
Denny's. And Dr. Scott was like, I'm ready to break out my black belt.
Usually I don't, but I had enough of this guy's shit.
What's funny is that Doc's like 5'0", but he's ready to kick some ass.
He's a certified black belt, and he was ready to go.
I believe it, actually. I don't know why, but I totally believe that. You're just that angry inside.
It takes a lot to get it out, but you know what? You don't want to see the beast.
So did you give him the beast, or you just let it go?
I just started, lay back, Doc, it's all good, I want my food, don't get us in a fight.
Yeah.
I don't want to die tonight.
Troy, are you going to it, or what?
Yeah, I'm going to it. So that was my question. People who have gone, and I don't know if any of you are going, if you went, and I already got the answer from you, Dr. Scott, if you go again, what's your strategy? And you got to have a strategy. You can't taste 1,600 beers.
You can, and try to early on, try to either, probably the first night, is go to the booths and ask them, what do you got to hear is special? And if they say, we're not breaking that out for the next night or two or whatever, you're going to know that.
Yeah.
But be aware that the last night there's going to be a lot of dry taps. We're only serving this and that.
Well, that's what happens is that they announce the awards on Saturday.
Yeah.
And then everybody goes to those booths that won
And
awards.
drain them.
And drains them.
And I still don't know why the Coors and the Budweiser, they've got 4 or 5 booths wide and they're 3-4 people deep.
Really?
It's amazing. You can't even get close. Well,
I don't need to taste.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was thinking.
Right.
But there's a lot of things, but have a theme every night.
Okay.
And you're pretty much on track that way.
The booth I always go to is New Glarus. It's actually out in New Glarus, Wisconsin, and it's they're Belgian. They make a cherry red, and they also make a raspberry tart. I mean, it's a fruit beer, but
it's Belgian, so it's okay.
It is. I mean, it is amazing. I mean, I go there and I will drink 1 ounce of it, or I'll drink a pint of it 1 ounce at a time. It's amazing. It'll blow your mind. And then they win the fruit beer category. Every year.
Wow.
So just have this. You're going to get there and you're going to walk in this place and it's huge. Say, oh my God. And, I'm trying to get to one place and Charlie Papazian almost knocks me over because he's in a hurry to be someplace.
Bastard.
Yeah.
He always is.
Yeah.
Sean, are you going this year?
I am going, actually. We entered, I think, 5 beers this year.
Nice.
We're not on the floor this year,
You're not on the floor?
No, not on the floor this year. We got in a little
Can you
too
change
late.
that? Change it.
What beers did you enter?
I entered Imperial IPA, Belgian Pale Ale. What else did I enter?
Watermelon.
No, I didn't enter the watermelon because it doesn't do very well. Milk Stout, Sweet Stout, and the extra special bitter.
Okay.
And I think one other there I'm forgetting right now.
Gotcha. I wanted to go this year. I was after going to the OBF, I was really thinking about doing it, and then I started this new gig, and I don't know if I can get the time off.
Do you have your hotel all worked out yet?
Well, I got mine. I'm staying at it's called Hotel Teatro. It's about 2 blocks away.
Yeah, because
sweet, I'll be there.
You want all the downtown's cool.
What number
so you
again?
can walk back from there, stumble, whatever.
Well, that's the great thing about the festival is that there's all this other stuff that's going outside of it. So it's like an opportunity to go. I don't know where you're from, but it's a great time to go to Denver and you kind of like hang out and you go out to Boulder. Boulder's great. You go to Mountain Sun out there and it's just it's beautiful. I mean, it's a great experience.
Right.
And from that standpoint, but I mean, getting back to what you were saying, I mean, I think the Oregon Brewers Festival is one of my favorite festivals.
It was great.
I mean,
it was tough to recover from, but it was a good time.
Yeah.
But what I like, well, I don't know, I've not been to it. It sounds like I like about the GABF is that it's bigger, it's wider. There's more property there. There's more beer there. There's less standing in line at a trailer. Like for example, are you going to be at the booth that you're distributing your beer?
They're not going to.
Well, if I was pouring this year, I would be there.
You would be there.
And that's the thing about the Oregon Brewers Festival is that
you
you can't stand behind there because of their liquor laws.
Right.
So.
And I appreciate that it gets beer out faster and allows all those brewing companies to be there. I didn't appreciate that I didn't get to talk to everybody whose beer I was drinking.
The GABF,
I agree.
You can actually talk to them about the beer.
Yeah, they're right there. People.
So that I would dig.
Yeah, that's awesome.
But it's in a big auditorium. It's almost like the prom with beer.
All right, maybe I'll just quit. I'm going to the
Please don't do it.
John, you got the opportunity to go to the damn thing, and you're like, I've been there before. I don't want to go. My cookie hurts.
Why you gotta take it to that level? Why you gotta do that? It's 5 miles of beer. I don't remember any of it. I just remember Dr. Scott wanted to get in a fight with some karate dude, and
it's funny.
And then we went to the titty bar.
And then we did titty bar.
Actually, I've been to the titty bars, and I got to tell you something. Every year I go, it's like the Wild West back there. It's Denver. I mean,
it is Denver.
I mean, I see fights I see it's almost like gentleman fights. One time I was walking out of the festival, and this guy took his glasses off, handed it to his friend, and these guys were like, let's go. We're going to fight now.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. The Marcus of Queensberry rules.
Exactly.
See, I want to go just
offline.
Yeah.
My goal is I want to take some notes because I could just see me tasting 250 beers and saying that was some good stuff I tasted, but I really don't remember what I like.
Well, that's exactly what it is. I mean, you should definitely do that. Like the doc was just saying, write things down.
Write them down.
Through it.
I did it at OBF.
Or better yet, before you even go, do some research about the places that you want to taste. You've always heard about them, but you've never had their beers.
Yeah.
And if you can find them and drink those beers.
Right.
And sit there and drink a couple of, because you're only getting 1 ounce at a time, so definitely
have 6.
Exactly.
Have 6 or have sex.
Whichever.
Oh, and
whatever happens.
The last night is much more crowded.
Yeah.
So, and the eye candy's better.
Well, I've heard that if you were to drink every 1 ounce beer of every brewery there, it's like 5 miles of beer.
Wow.
If you do the math.
Crawling or walking?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Crawling is
it's a lot of Vegemite.
I like that. I really like that. Yeah. You already got your hotel booked and everything too, Sean?
I do.
Can he crash on your floor?
Yeah, come on out.
Who's got the room with the cot in it?
I got the hookers and blow. Bring them on out.
Hunt down Chris White because they usually have a party on Friday night, and it's usually at one of the local brew pubs.
Yeah,
you can crash that real easy.
What's the exact dates of the GABF, Troy? While you're here?
Thursday through Saturday. There's a night session, the 3 nights, and then there's a Saturday session in the daytime.
Yeah,
that's when they announce the awards. It's a little more expensive and.
Buy them all.
There's some other stuff to see there, but I'm going to the 3 sessions from Friday through Saturday.
Oh yeah, they got the connoisseur session, which just means that they cut out all the riffraff.
Actually, that's not a bad one to go to.
It's not a bad one to go to.
Because there's not a lot of people there.
And if you want to talk to people that are actually been brewing the beers, it's a lot less people on the floor because that night it's just packed.
How'd you get into that, Doc?
I'm a doctor.
Showed your doctor badge?
Exactly.
Your stethoscope?
Yeah.
Hey, Troy.
Yeah.
You want a shirt?
Sure, I'll take a shirt.
We got a 21st Amendment shirt to give to you because...
but we got to know how big you are.
He has to pick it up on September 26th, Monday night.
Okay.
Oh, yeah?
I'll do that.
Why would that be?
Because he's local.
He's local. All right, there you go.
All right.
Yeah.
Hey, I got one other question
that's your
for
club, Doc?
That's Monday. That's Monday night. Oh wait, we're having a beer club meeting.
What's your question, Troy? Go for it.
You said that 21st Amendment's not going to be on the floor.
Yeah.
But you're entering, so that means that a lot of the winners may not be there to taste their beers after they're announced on Saturday.
Well, hopefully I'll win all my awards, but no, it's sometimes that happens. So unfortunately, they like to take as many beers as they can in. So some of the winners will not be. You won't be able to drink them. So
gotcha.
Unfortunately,
yeah, that's kind of a drag. They should have a winner's circle like on the last day, right?
Yeah,
where you get to taste all the.
Just
winners.
hold back a little bit.
They should do that on homebrew level too.
How many days is the GABF?
I think it's the 28th through the
Thursday through Saturday night.
Yeah, the first.
I can't count. How many days? Is that?
No, it's like 3 days, 4 days.
But you should buck up for the $35 for the connoisseur session.
It's the 30th through the 2nd.
There is an AHA discount.
Oh, there you go.
Oh.
But if you really want to talk to some people, it's a lot less people milling about, and you will get overrun on Saturday night because it's
chaos.
It's chaos.
I mean, I don't even go to, actually, honestly, I don't even go to, I went to it 1 year and it was just...
It's rubbing people, certain people this way.
There should be a TBN discount. You know what I'm saying? A little Brewing Network discount.
We need
Can I get a press pass?
We need a TBN.
You know what?
card.
Actually, that's not a bad idea.
Why
you
couldn't
could
I
probably,
get a press pass?
You know.
Yeah, you could probably get a press.
I'm the press. I took interviews I worked the entire OBF. I drank the entire OBF, but I worked the entire OBF.
There you go.
I'm yet to edit what I did.
And you really looked worked when you got back.
Serious. I should get a press pass.
You should.
You think that'll get me an airline ticket? Too?
Yeah.
Can I get a,
In mine.
Yeah, you could, huh? What do you think?
Work it.
You look like you got some phone numbers or something.
Well, your last caller, who's a pilot. I mean, there you go.
Fly me out there, get you.
Oh wait, we have a corporate pilot now.
All right, hey Troy, you get a shirt just for calling in and hanging out with us.
Okay.
Like that.
Good deal. Thanks.
Thanks for the phone call, and I don't know, maybe I'll see you there. Send me an email, and I'll email you back if I'm going, and then we can go to go to the connoisseurs.
No, the after beer parties.
Together.
After parties.
All right, Troy, have a good one, man.
I think Dr. Scott actually dropped about $200 on me that night.
He was worth it.
I think Roger from Drake's actually probably dropped that amount too.
Really?
Yeah.
Awesome.
No comment. That'll be for the trash talk show.
It was worth the look on his face.
All right, I've got one of the most important questions from the chat room that we've ever gotten right here in my hands. Natty has handed it off to me. And it's important. I'm glad that we have a panel of professionals here to answer it.
And the Imperial Stout to follow.
If I can put this out first, if the person is still listening, I'd like you to call in so we can talk to you about this question as well. So it's 888-401-BEER.
Tell them who it is.
And I really would love to talk to you. I don't know who it is.
Or tell them the first words of the question. Or what it pertains.
They know who it is. They're going to hear the question.
What does this pertain?
So as we answer it, I would love to talk to you on the phone. I really would, and I mean that. So call in 888-401-BEER. The question, fellas, is, hey, I've got a question for you. How can I get my husband to pick up all of his brewing crap immediately after he brews? He claims that he has to wait for everything to dry, but I'm tired of looking at it. So she wants some advice on how to get us to pick up our shit when we're done brewing.
That's great question. That's awesome.
Which is going to lead me into a story in a minute. But
that's why I have my own brew house.
So, yeah. So the answer is build him his own brew house?
Get him his own spot.
Floor drains.
Floor drains.
Right.
I have a floor drain in my brew house.
Aluminum shack, a lot of sex.
Oh, there's a lot of things. The first stage is get kicked out of the kitchen.
Yeah.
Then you're brewing in the garage or on the back porch.
Right.
But you're still having to pull everything out.
Yeah.
Clean it.
Yeah.
Brew with it. Clean it. Put it back.
Right.
You know what? That's not the fun part.
No,
the fun part is the brewing part.
Oh,
the
yeah,
drinking part while you're brewing part, that's all really fun.
Right.
But yeah, you're right, it's gotta dry.
Yeah.
But it's no fun to put it back. You could
Especially
you could help him.
Yeah.
Positive reinforcement.
Positive can help him.
Yes. You make great beer, honey, but
give him
I need to clean up.
Give him a better place to put it all. So he's got a place to put it. That's the cool thing about my brew house.
Yeah.
Is I use it, I put it back.
You have a drain, Doc. Let's talk about how many homebrewers have a drain in there.
I just dump it on the floor.
You have a drain.
I have a drain.
You're one in the whole country.
Oh, but it's good. And I have a stainless steel sink. But the best thing is I have a place for everything, and I use it, I wash it, I put it back.
Yeah.
And I built the place because I dreaded having to drag everything off the shelf, putting it together, brewing with it. And I'm dead by the end of that one. And then I gotta wash it. Sometimes I don't even wash it for a couple of days, but then it's gotta be put back. So, yeah, I had the same problem.
Here's what I'm gonna do. Now that you've gotten that answer about the build him his own brew house and so that he has his own place to do it.
That's the A answer.
I'm gonna give you the realistic answer. And I'm gonna have to apologize to all you guys first. We got a phone call, I'll take it in a second. I'm gonna have to, is that her? Is that the call? Okay. Let me get her on the phone before I get going.
Awesome.
Go ahead. Hang up that phone. And you're on the Brewing Network. Are you there?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Hang on 1 second. Just stay with me because did you just hear the answer that we gave there about the build him a brew house and all that nonsense?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Well, I'm going to give you the real answer now. Okay. and I'm going to preface this by apologizing to all you men out there and all of our listeners. But here's the deal. I can't help but do it. I went to school for communication, and half of my studies were gender and communication and how we relate to each other and how we're different. So I'm going to give you the big sissy answer, but it's the right answer. So you're not going to like it, but I'm going to give it to you anyway.
The correct answer.
Okay.
The Dr. Phil answer?
I should just take it.
What's your no? You're going to like it.
You're going to like it.
My listeners aren't going to like it. What's your name?
Jenny.
Jenny?
Yes.
Jenny, here's the answer to the question of how you get your husband to clean up his stuff.
Okay.
Say, listen, guy. Stop being such a lazy jerk-off. I let you brew the beer. I let you take the time to do it. Clean up after yourself. I clean everything else. You don't see me leaving my stuff all over the place. When you're done with it, dry it off with a towel and put it back where it belongs. You're not going to get a brew house because I don't have a fortune sitting in my back pocket. I'm not going to build you a shed, and we don't have a second garage. So listen, buddy, clean your stuff. Yeah! Now, that being said, my crap sits out for like a week after I brew.
Hypocrite.
Because I'm lazy too. But
wait, I saw your balls disappear.
But here's the thing. Not everybody's going to get a brew house, right? And there definitely has to be some compromises made.
Right.
I don't know what your relationship with him and brewing is. Some significant others are like, hey, brew, it makes you happy, and I'm glad to see you do it. Others are like, yeah, if you got to do it, fine. Don't bother me, right?
Do you drink his beer?
Yes, I do, and I support him wholeheartedly.
Well, could you like just meet him halfway and like, I hate this. I'll help you clean up half of it. Let's go now.
No, Doc, you don't get to talk anymore.
Yeah.
I'm turning you off right now.
Mute.
I'll let you back in a second, but right now you're on quiet time. Okay. How long are we talking that this guy's stuff sits out after he brews?
Maybe like a week or two. I had to take my fingernail and scrape malt off my floor, all over my floor. And then we got hops that dried up against my refrigerator. And my stove is completely brown.
This is you're describing my kitchen, by the way. After that whole rant I gave in support of you, this is my kitchen you're describing. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I hear what you're saying. What time of day does he brew?
What kind of...
What time of day?
Oh, anytime. Last weekend he was up till 3 in the morning.
Okay. Now, here's where I'm going to defend him slightly, because I'm a midnight brewer myself.
You drink a lot.
And you end up getting through the brew process at 3 in the morning, and look, it's time for bed, let's face it. You're not going to clean up right then. And sometimes, I understand you should get up the next day, and you gotta take care of that stuff, you gotta clean it. It's not always going to happen. The hops on the side of the refrigerator, that's a
little overboard.
Yeah.
Must be good beer.
Yeah.
Doc, I'll give you your microphone back.
Okay. One thing I've found that helps is if he invites somebody over to help him brew.
They'll help clean.
They do. They help clean, and the drudgery's not so much.
But they also pass out on your couch.
Yeah.
Well, they might, but you'll have a clean couch. You'll have a clean line of everything. But I have found that the drudgery is a lot less if he has a brew partner.
That's like at the 21st Amendment or any brewery I've been at. Guest brewer always cleans the mash tub.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, John, what did you do when you helped me brew?
I cleaned for you, Doc.
There you go. So
best beer he's made yet.
Yes, and it was.
But you do enjoy the final product. You enjoy the beer.
I do. It's just, when I'm trying to have breakfast with the girls in the morning, and I'm looking all over the copper tubing and telling them that I'm going to put it on the front.
I'm with you though. A week is a little too much. And tell him that a week makes it harder to clean.
What's his excuse? What does he say?
Well, he says it's drying. He's going to let everything dry.
Yeah, sure.
Meanwhile, he's got stuff sitting in a bowl full of bleach water. That isn't going to dry.
No. He means PBW.
Yeah.
But
my stuff's stistill sitting in the living room. A
week is too much.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Is he there now, Jen?
Yeah.
Don't go away. Let me talk to him, and then I'll get you. Then I'm going to get you back on the phone. Let me talk to him real quick.
You want to talk to my husband?
Who is it? Do we know him?
Do they know you called?
Well, his name is Eric. He knows I called, and we were all excited because you talked about New Glarus, and that's our favorite beer. We're from.
You sound like you're from Wisconsin. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Wisconsin.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Let me talk to the guy.
Okay, here he is.
All right.
Have fun. Hey, Jay. Have fun.
Hello. You know what?
It's Eric, right?
Eric
from Wisconsin.
Have fun.
Yeah, Eric, your brewing's going to be cut short.
Well, here's what I'm thinking. I know that Wisconsin is known for its cheese, right? But you don't need to grow it on the side of your refrigerator.
Yeah, oxidized hops. It does have a cheesy aroma.
But I've learned to keep the wife happy. You will brew a lot more.
It's true, Eric. I'm so like you, man. My stuff, I'm telling you, I kegged 5 days ago. All my sanitizer's still sitting in the bucket.
Wait, can we talk about that carboy you gave me?
No, I'm turning you off again. We're not allowed to talk about my carboy that was disgusting. That sat on my back porch for like a month and a half. It was full of junk, but Doc did clean it, and Doc, I appreciate that. Thank you.
That was disgusting.
But Eric, eventually she's going to put her foot down, right?
Yes.
So it's almost like for the sake of keeping the fighting the good fight, you might have to wake up the next day and clean it after a 3 a.m. brew.
Well, everything's clean. I don't know what she's talking about.
I do.
Beside the refrigerator.
I'll tell you this, Eric. I really like that you're like, oh, it's drying. It's been 14 days. But you're like, well, it's copper tubing, and copper dries really slow.
Or use my response. It only happened once.
Yeah. Well, we're building a brewery in the garage.
Oh, you are?
Well, there you go.
So you are getting your own space there.
Right.
What type of car do you drive?
Yeah. What do you got in your garage besides your brewery? Anything?
Nothing.
That's perfect.
Well, see, there you go. Then you got a whole brewery.
Yeah.
There we go.
Sean will come over and
how long
watch you build it.
How long you been brewing?
Supervise.
I think six years now. 6
years. And how many of those 6 years you've been leaving your stuff out after you brew? Just recently, or you do it all the time?
It was when I went all grain about.
It's always
yes. It's always that.
It's
way.
always the all grain.
That's the step that leads to the cleaning.
So don't blame the all grain.
Here's what you do, Eric. Now cover Jen's ears for a second, because as much as I was sticking up for her, you could at least say, "Hey, at least I'm not putting like my boilovers all over the stove anymore."
Exactly. I'm out of the kitchen, baby.
Wait, no. She said the stove was brown.
Right.
Yep. Are you still on the stove?
Yeah, right now, yeah.
And all grain?
Go to the garage.
That's hardcore.
It's hardcore.
Yeah.
Is that 5 gallons?
What's that? 5 gallons, yeah.
Let me tell you this. My stove started out white when I moved in here.
It's still brown.
It's not only brown, it's that shiny caramelized brown.
You can lick it.
Because you keep the heat on after it boils over, right? And it just crystallizes on top. But it's a really strong protective coating.
Right, she has to take it off with oven cleaner.
Yeah, exactly. Like highly caustic stuff.
She's probably going to use that on you pretty soon.
I am thinking that homebrewers have to use stuff on their stovetops that even professional brewers don't use in their fermenters to get that junk out of there.
Sean, you got any comments on this?
Sandpaper is what you're talking about.
Sean, any professional wisdom you got here?
Clean often.
Right.
Always clean after use and sanitize before use.
Right.
There you go.
Right.
Less work later. Because it's hard to clean off something that's hard.
Keep the wife happy and you will brew longer.
Yes. Well, brewing doesn't have anything to do with it. You gotta give her a lot of love.
Yeah.
But
where's he going with this?
I don't know. I just give mine fair warning and I just rope a dope.
Rope?
I just take the hits and then I brew.
Oh, man. Let me talk to Jen again, if I may, Eric.
Okay.
Thanks, man.
Where are they in
Wisconsin? Where in Wisconsin are you, Jen?
Johnson Creek.
Where is that in relation to New Glarus?
Probably about 45 minutes east.
That's amazing. I mean, I actually had a server of mine bring back a case and a half of the Wisconsin New Glarus Cherry Red. And,
Isn't that wonderful?
Unbelievable.
Have you had the apple, too?
No, I've not had the apple. I have the tart. Actually, I have a half a case of the raspberry tart and then also the cherry.
Oh, yeah, that's good, too.
Is that the most popular beer out there, or just for those of you in the know?
I think for those of us who like it. I mean, we are right by Tyranina Brewery, too.
Yeah.
That's in Lake Mills, which is just 10 miles south of here.
Okay. All right.
But, I mean, that's close by.
Yeah, Dan Carey is a great brewer. I mean, actually, he's from San Francisco. His family grew up here, and then he moved back to Wisconsin with his wife, and they opened up a brewery. Just a phenomenal brewer.
Okay.
Yeah, and a hard worker, too.
Yeah, he is.
I bet he cleans up his stuff.
I bet
Oh, probably right after. That's why he became a professional, so other people do it.
Yeah. Hey, Jen, you want a 21st Amendment T-shirt?
Sure.
All right, we're going to give it to you. You know that you're our first female caller?
I am.
And we like that.
You are you're our first, and I'm really happy about that because
thank you. That's wonderful.
Oh, it is one. It actually really is, because we need more of that kind of stuff happening here, and there's just too much testosterone going around.
Yeah, tell your friends, tell your neighbors.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
and that's why when I got the question, I was so happy to get the question. I gave Nate high five just for handing it to me, and had to ask you to call in because I just think it's important to get you on the air and talk to you because there's another side to homebrewing that isn't getting vocalized. So
that's right.
We shun that one.
You're a pioneer, Jen. That's right. And
you're the first on Brew Radio, baby.
Right. And for that,
I love it.
You get a T-shirt. So we're going to send you one.
Wear it with pride.
They got to email you.
Yeah. Here's the deal. I hung up on the last. Oh, the last one didn't matter. You're going to see it. Jen, you got to send me an email with your address. Okay.
Size too.
Okay.
Yeah. Send me your size and your address.
Well, did I mention that Eric got me knocked up, so I'm on my third baby?
He got you knocked up, huh?
Well,
your third? Is that what you said?
My third.
It's not even winter yet.
I know. I'm 25 years old and I have 3 kids.
But it's not even winter yet.
You need to drink more beer and be sterile.
Jen, you're younger than I am. You got 3 kids.
I know.
Good for you.
Hey,
you guys
know
are
what's
big.
good? You have the energy for 3.
That's
it's
right.
the homebrew.
I do. I have the energy.
Yeah, you have the energy.
I think
so.
you guys-
Do you want a T-shirt for pre or post pregnancy?
I better do post.
Do you want birth control?
I'm starting to
Post.
No, Eric's got supersonic sperm.
Apparently.
No.
Supersonic sperm.
Whoa.
That's what I was thinking. You don't have the energy for 3 kids. You got the energy to make 3 kids, apparently.
That's your next ale. Supersonic ale.
Ooh.
Oh yeah.
There you go. Jen just named your beer, Eric.
Yeah.
It should be like Supersonic Stout.
Exactly.
Supersonic
That's
stout.
S cubed.
They're all his, right, Jen?
Oh, yeah, they are.
I'm just checking. I don't know what you do in Wisconsin. I'm way over here on the
Wait, it
west.
is Wisconsin. All are his.
I don't know what happens there.
Like Nate does, he wears 2 condoms and birth control.
Yeah. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to send you a T-shirt. We're going to send Eric a pack of condoms.
Yeah. Oh, your best bet is just to hold some stout between your knees.
Whoa, hey now.
Yeah.
The alcohol, the great sterilizer.
All night long.
All right, Jen, send me an email. It's Justin at the Brewing Network. Give me your address. Give me the size that you want post baby. How many months?
No, give her the size you want.
How many months are we talking?
Just 2.
2 months.
Oh.
2.
The first 2 were what?
I have 2 girls.
And you're gonna get another. Say it, girl. That's what happens. That's what happens.
Eric would
You
like
try
a
for that
girl.
other one, and it's the same.
He'd like a girl. Is that what you said?
Yeah, he said he's a good daddy for girls.
Good. He says that now until they're like 13 or 14.
Yeah.
Shotgun tracking
Well, I'm just
device.
going to put this out there.
You're brewing more then.
Take it or leave it. I'm just throwing it out there. But Justin or Justine is a great name. It doesn't matter
That is different. I like it.
however the baby comes out. It works either way.
Yeah.
Justine.
And
Well, I'll have to call you back
I
in
like-
7 months and tell you.
Exactly.
I like Brewcaster.
Have a celebration.
BC?
Yeah. That's because you don't like your kids. You want to name them that.
Yeah, Parker and
Bryson.
Jen, I'm serious. I appreciate your phone call. Thank you for
All right.
calling us up.
No problem.
I'm glad there's actually women out there listening to us.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, every night before we go to bed, and sometimes even your old broadcasts, we've been...
Cool.
So were we responsible for the last one?
No, what are you talking about? It was.
It's like that Johnny Carson thing.
It was Doc's sexy voice, wasn't it?
Yeah. He talks dirty.
Yeah. Yeah, they're like
He talks real low.
Eric's like, wait, they're gonna
Come on, baby,
they're gonna say hop back again.
Come on, let's get on the hop back.
Do you hop back to watermelon?
Okay, Jen, I gotta stop there. Send me an email. The shirt's on its way. It's gonna be from 21st Amendment.
Post or pre?
Courtesy of Shaun, and you let me know in the email. We'll send it however you want.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Thanks again.
That was awesome.
That is cool.
Yeah.
Okay, now we got to taste and talk about 21st Amendment beers.
Give us some more.
I've been drinking.
Sean's like,
I feel this is the best I felt all day. I mean, I've had a struggle.
Oh yeah.
Sean let us in on a little secret at the break that this is actually his hangover show.
Oh my
So
god.
a little dog hair for him.
Yeah, he was having a rough
I was at a
time.
beer festival on the Jeremiah O'Brien yesterday.
Okay.
The Brews on the Bay, amazing
Yeah.
thing out there. And then we went to Tommy's, drank tequila.
So did you do the tour of the Jeremiah?
No, actually, we were just out there,
on
pouring
beer?
beer and all that.
Yeah.
It's like the San Francisco Brewers Guild. It's a new organization, and we're,
Some of that.
yeah, here you go.
Double IPA. Sorry to interrupt. I just
Is
saw
that right?
I saw an open beer and I had to take my shot.
And, it was your open beer.
And this morning it was a struggle.
Yeah. I still have to try Vinny's Duvel though.
Now, okay, here's what I'm talking about right here. This is the Double Trouble IPA from 21st Amendment, right?
This is it.
Okay.
I've not taken a drink yet, but I'm going to tell you right now that the aroma is incredible.
Okay,
that is a great.
Don't use the hops you used.
Use these ones.
Well, yeah, you
These are
use a lot of Cascade and don't use
well,
that.
actually, I use a lot of Cascade. That's probably
Not
the
this
heavy
one.
part. No, actually, it's Cascade. It's Amarillo.
That's it right there. It's the Amarillo.
Actually, I started adding Syrian Goldings, which is interesting because it's kind of like it's an orange marmalade kind of flavor.
Yeah.
And then
where do you get those? I could always want those, and I can never.
Just
get
come
them.
by. I'll give them to you.
Because I can never get them.
No, I mean I get them from where I get them from, Hop Union or my local hop supplier. But it also has a pound, like a very low amount of Tomahawk or Columbus hops in there.
Yeah.
Is that where you get your Amarillo too, from Hop Union?
I get Amarillo from Brewer's Supply, which is from Lehman's Hops, which is
that smells so good.
Justin's just bummed because he can't get enough Amarillo.
You know what? Jameel brought me some the last
did
time
he?
he was in. He brought me a package of Amarillo that he's been keeping for himself.
I'll send them to you. I mean, let me know. Yeah.
That is my favorite hop on the planet.
It's a hard hop to get. Actually, you have to contract for it. For the hop harvest is coming in right now.
I found that out. You got to really book it, and then once it's gone, forget it. You can forget it. Unless you buy it from another brewer, is the word around the campfire. Yeah. That occasionally you can call up a full sale or the occasional other brewer who sort of orders more than they need.
So, dude, what you got?
Yeah, then they go pedal it enough, which is nice. Man, that smells good. That's a good IPA right there.
It's about 9.5% alcohol. It's about 110 IBUs.
Okay. And that's on tap all the time at 21st?
It doesn't taste like 110 IBUs.
No, it's
very
really
well balanced.
I mean, it's using the WLP 001 yeast, the Cal yeast, and it's got a lot of malt in it.
Yeah. But it's very well balanced. I could tell it could be really sweet if you didn't have a lot of hops.
Yeah, it's actually in the bottle right now. Coming out of the bottle, it's a little bit warmer than normal. It's got a little bit of malt edge to it, and it's but it's mashed around 156, 157, and
I'm not.
Let me do this.
Truthfully, I'm not a big IPA fan, but I like this one.
Thank you.
I'm going to turn him off for a second. Here's what happens to Doc when we get to the end of the show. It's awesome. I love it. I love it every time. Because, it doesn't matter. He doesn't mean it. It doesn't, he just tastes like the rest of us. But he gets so happy and Doc is I love having him on the show because he's just so happy to be here that by the end of the show, I just can't help but smile at the guy.
It's like me and my red face. It had nothing to do with the tequila. It had all to do with the sun.
I got to ask you this because it's a tradition on our show, and everybody does it. And if you don't, I'm going to call you a big jerk again. We need to get a recipe out of you of some sort.
Okay.
Pick a beer that you'd like, because we haven't gotten asked specifically. I'm going to ask something of the listeners right now that I normally do, and I'm going to ask something of you to think about as I'm doing that, because I'm about to take a call. But they like to get clone recipes. Home brewers, you know what it's like. We want to brew stuff that we like.
I was a home brewer. I always tell people that come in the brewery that I am basically just a home brewer. I just have control over temperature and I have pumps.
Gotcha. So. Right, and that's a good explanation. So think about a recipe that you'd like to give them, so that we can brew a clone from 21st Amendment, if you would. And I'm going to direct this question to the listeners, and then I think take a phone call that John's got happening over here. Don't press anything. Just hang on a second.
Don't press anything.
What I want to put out there is we're about to do Stump the Brewer, because I got one shirt left to give away, and we're going to play Stump the Brewer.
I heard about this.
Yeah.
I'm nervous.
So think of your Stump the Brewer questions. Now, you guys know the rules. Don't start asking them about what's the Swedish word for panties or anything else. It's got to be about it's got to be about beer and something.
Preferably be about California beer.
Nah, I'm not. Yes, but I don't care if you really stump them. Give it to
I
him.
want to be stumped.
I want to get a couple of questions out of it.
Yeah. So Stump the Brewer, and as usual, Doc, you're not allowed to answer. I don't know how many times.
I know. My hand goes up.
He can't help it. He's like, I know though. I know.
My hand goes up.
I know. All right. So I got a caller on the air. Here's what's going to happen, John. I'm going to give you the cue. Go ahead
control
and
the mute.
Hang that sucker up, Johnny, and we'll see who we got here. Hello, you're on the air.
Hey.
Hey. Who are we talking to?
This is Ian from St. Louis.
Hi, Ian.
What's happening, Ian?
Well, I'm in a predicament here, guys.
Uh-oh.
Yeah,
Can we help you?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Well, I've never brewed before.
Okay.
But my stepdad has. He's code writing fool on the chat rooms. Been brewing about for a year.
Okay, cool.
And, my family's Irish. I got Irish, German, and, Scottish blood in me. There's no alcohol in the family.
Sounds like me.
Yeah. Well, I've always been kind of interested in, at first, wine making, because I thought it'd be cool, and then I got into the beer because, my stepdad likes beer. I like beer.
Okay.
And I've want to know. Well, I do not like water beer.
Okay.
All right. I
Good for
believe
St.
in.
Louis.
Yeah, that is
You know,
good.
I'm a 17-year-old guy, but
You mean you're 21?
yeah, I'm 21.
21-year-old
Yeah.
guy.
Yeah.
20-year-old guy, but I've never been much of the party. Just I want to get, you know.
So you're not like doing keg stands and beer funnels? Is that what you're saying?
I'm for the taste.
Okay,
You know?
fair enough. Go
And
ahead. What's your question?
My question is, what is a good beer that is good for a novice that's never done it before? What's a
For
good
your
non-water beer?
your first brew.
To brew.
Yeah.
And you already have all your equipment?
He does. My stepdad has the equipment.
Extract or all grain?
I don't know.
Not quite sure. Okay.
Yeah.
Extract. Extract. Okay, that's what I was thinking. Probably extract. All right. So you want a good first style of beer. You want to taste it, and you want it to be easy to brew.
And you want it to basically free of faults. So,
Yeah.
or at least mask all the faults.
Okay.
Stout.
All right.
Dark beer or a wheat beer.
And if somebody like poo-poos, I can't drink a stout. You get a lot of that guys, the new guys that a pale ale. Is
That's the first one I was going to throw.
You want to emulate Sierra Nevada?
Yep.
Basically.
Are you?
That's
you're
a
not.
hard beer to
Are you a
replicate,
stout fan? Do you drink Guinness or anything?
I like Guinness. Yeah.
You do, but
Guinness is good.
you might like pale ale a little better.
I'm a big fan of the Heifers.
Hefs.
Oh.
Okay.
Stick to the wheat beers.
That's an easy one to brew. That's a great one, I think, to start
that's
with.
a quick brew. I mean, you can brew it
in 7 days.
In 7 days, in maybe 2 weeks, you can be drinking that thing.
Yeah, you can call your friends tonight and tell them that you're going to have a keg party in 2 weeks
and brew
and serve them your wheat beer. Is what you can do.
That's the cool thing about wheat.
Your 21-year-old friends.
Wham, bam, thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, exactly.
Let me talk to your dad for a second. Give me him for
His dad, Paul, emailed me his 100-year-old grandmother's recipe.
Yeah?
Whoa.
I couldn't see because our email sucks.
Yo.
on our account.
Hey, who are we talking to here?
It's Code Right and Full.
Hey, Code, what's happening?
Hey, Code.
All right. Now,
how are you guys doing?
We're doing great.
I love the show.
Thank you. Happy to have you. Now, you're passing along your extract kit to your son. Is that what's happening here?
Well, yeah, he expresses an interest, and he's really too young, but you know,
he's
20,
21.
21.
Yeah.
Hey, you can brew at 18.
Still in high school?
Yes, he is.
Okay. Well, here's the thing about homebrewing. The great thing about homebrewing and this show, for example, is that you're allowed to brew it. He's just obviously not going to drink it because that would be wrong.
That's right, but I can drink it.
Yeah, he's
Exactly.
brewing it for his dad.
So, are you a fan of the Hefeweizen's, Code?
Oh yeah, just like you wouldn't believe.
Okay. And how long have you been brewing?
A little over a year.
Okay.
I don't know if you remember. I'm the guy that posted on the newbie forum about introduce yourself to the brewing.
Yeah.
About my I'm from like a long line of brewers. Not that helps any.
I replied to him.
That's right. And you're the one whose grandmother used to brew like 100-year-old recipe or something.
Yeah, my great grandmother.
Okay.
My dad, which I never knew about.
Okay.
And his dad.
Okay.
And his and my great grandfather as well.
Now, coming from that long line, let's be honest here. How's your beer?
It's better.
You asking me what I think of it? I think it's great.
Yeah? Okay, well that's good enough. That's fine. That's a good answer because that's where it starts. As long as you think it's great, man, because let me tell you, my first beer was the best beer I ever had in my life.
Really? You made it.
Yeah.
You're good.
Because I made it and it was drinkable and that's pretty much the only criteria that I had. So it was good. Have you tried to brew this 100-year-old recipe you got there?
No, I tried sending it to John.
Our email is really bad, so I apologize. But
I got your other email address. I'll send it to you. But I did post the recipe up on the forum.
Oh, you did? Cool. Okay.
Yeah, and it looks like it.
It's weird,
it would
huh?
Suck.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting. And where did she get yeast that long ago?
I have no idea. It doesn't even specify like a type or anything.
Right.
It does specify
she just put like
malt,
an old,
which I didn't even. I mean, I guess that was a common thing. I didn't even know you could go to the store and buy that.
Buy hopped malt. I bet that she just put like her husband's old sock in there to ferment the thing or something. Like that was the yeast. You know.
Well, the incredible thing, or the thing that I think is just horrible, is that it says, wait like 24 hours, 48 hours is best.
That was it?
That's it.
It's prison beer.
Yeah, that's what I was just going to say. It's more like a prison brew.
Yeah, your grandma was like a prison maid or something.
Spit in it.
Yeah. She wants to get those yeast enzymes in there.
They get it fermented somehow.
A little lacto in there.
I'm glad she spit in it.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, what's your son's name, Code?
His name is Ian.
All right. Put Ian back on the phone if you would.
All right. Hold on.
Thank you. That's awesome. Like playing
father like son.
Playing phone Jenga here.
Right. Hello.
Ian.
Yeah.
Now all this nonsense about you not really drinking that much, that's because your dad's in the room, right?
Just say yeah. Or say a code word. Umbrella.
Yeah.
Umbrella.
All right, fair enough. Here's what I say. I say brew a Hefeweizen, brew a nice wheat beer. It's really easy, especially do an extract, and it's a short time. But there's one thing that you're going to really have to pay attention to. The rest of it's a piece of cake. You add the water, you put the hops, you put the malt. It's nothing, right?
Right.
There's one thing you're going to have to pay attention to, and that's the temperature that you ferment this thing at. And this I speak from experience because I brewed like a banana tree. I brewed a Hefeweizen. It came out to be a banana tree. It's the worst fruity thing you ever had in your life. And the only reason it came out that way is because I didn't watch the fermentation temperature.
Up, down.
Okay?
Yeah.
So if I could say one thing, and I'm going to have, hopefully Shaun back me up here.
Oh, totally.
You want to keep it at a constant temperature. And now it's okay to do it a little warm, too. Like you do yours warm, don't you, Shaun?
Well, like 60 to 70 degrees.
I think that's warm in general, 68 degrees.
I mean, that's kind of the optimum temperature for that particular yeast. But
Okay.
the thing about it is that's the thing that really like sets homebrew apart. You know when you drink. When I drink somebody's homebrew, they bring it into the shop. It's like you taste it and you know if they were too hot.
Yeah,
instantly. You know instantly.
Or if it was up and down, and all over. Also, you're in Wisconsin. We're in St. Louis. Are you going to get another hot spell in the next month?
Yeah, it's a good question.
Dude, it's Missouri. You can never tell. Well, it's September 18th, and it feels like it's July, and then it'll start snowing in March and April. And
well, one thing especially with Hefeweizen is what temperature you're going to be serving this thing. If you're going to serve it at like a hot picnic, everybody and you do what Justin said, and not keep the banana down to a low, everybody's going to love it.
Yeah.
But on a cold winter night.
But it's going to be done in 2 weeks, so we're not talking
right,
cold
exactly.
winter night.
So look for the other end when you're going to be serving this thing.
Are you really going to brew this thing, Ian? Or are you pulling our leg?
No, I'm really gonna.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm wanting to. Well, see, it's like, my grandpa drank a lot.
Yeah.
Drinks a lot and everything, and then you'll have like not like horribly drunk or anything, but
my dad's an alky, my grandpa's an alky.
No, I'm with you.
I love the beer.
I just think it's pathetic, Like I'll have friends and they're like, my favorite's natural light. It's water. Okay?
You need new friends.
It's a travesty to beer. It's a travesty to call it beer. It's not beer. It's water with like yellow urine in it.
The easiest thing you can do is not find a different beer to brew, but find a new city to live in.
Yeah, now that's better. I didn't know what you were going to say. I'm going to defend you and your friends for a second, Ian. That's kind of the nature of being in the middle of the country, and you're in St. Louis. Your biggest brewery is a water geyser.
But don't think we get this out here. People have the same thing out here.
Kids out here are drinking the same thing, natural light and all that kind of stuff. So I'm actually, it's even more so that you should be brewing a nice wheat beer like this, because it's you need to brew a transition beer so that you can get these kids in and let me tell you, and especially those ladies. Let me tell you,
the first crack is
fruit beer. Wheat.
What do you?
Fruit beer. What are you saying about fruit beer?
Hey, watermelon's good for you.
What are you, a senior in high school?
I'm a junior, and
you're a junior.
See, the main thing is that I don't know. Like all my friends don't. I hear a kid and they're like, I like the hard stuff. Well, I'm like, I like beer, and they look at me weird because they've never tasted beer. They've tasted
They're looking for an effect.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you this right now.
They're looking to get hammered.
They don't like the hard stuff.
No,
they don't.
Really.
I want to be
brew in kegs. You will get lots of friends.
Yeah. You're already miles ahead because you're thinking about other kinds of beer.
Definitely, you're already. You wouldn't be asking this question if you were just the mega swilled kid.
Even though he stayed back 4 years.
Like
okay.
I've never I've always wanted to be, because I've tasted a lot of beer, different beers.
Yeah.
Because of my stepdad and everything, and then my grandpa's drinking like Milwaukee's Best, and I'm going, how can you drink this now?
Yeah.
You know, I want to be an open. I want to be a gate to people.
Yeah.
To taste good quality beer. I want them to taste the beer, not just glug it down because they can't stand it.
You are a pioneer.
You know, it's funny. It's like I'm trying to think of the commercial that do it. It's like a Captain Morgan commercial or something. You, my friend, are a pioneer. You are breaking Missouri's ground. You will brew new things that no one has ever tasted, and you will become the top of the Missouri world.
Right.
Yeah.
So, okay, you want to suck your friends into your world is what you want to do.
I got my finger on the dial.
I think it's funny that their favorite beer is the beer with the least amount of flavor.
Yeah.
That's, got the least amount of quality. That's,
Well, then you might want to suck them in with something like a golden ale. It's got some flavor to it.
Crossover beer.
It's a crossover beer. The golden ale's nice. You can get some hops in on them, and they'll go, "Wow, this is cool."
Yeah,
but it doesn't overwhelm them.
I'm going to stick with the wheat. I'm going to say do the wheat first before you do the golden ale.
It's got to be a hot day.
Because you're going to be prone to screw up the golden ale, for one. Yeah. And second, I think they're going to like the wheat.
Give him a little credit. Come on.
No, I'm just...
Oh, wait.
Just being honest here.
Don't take tips from Doc.
Yeah. All right, Doc, I'm turning you off again for a second. Because I'm going to wrap this up. We spent a little time on this. Here we go. Brew the wheat. All right. Get a good recipe. Talk to your dad about it. Post on our forum. John will be happy to answer you with a great wheat recipe, won't you, John?
Yes, I will.
Okay. So just go on our forum, even if you go, make your own name. You don't need to use your dad's. I've seen him on there, Code Right and Full. Make your own, register on our forum, go on there, ask John, about a good wheat recipe. He's gonna collaborate with you and brew a wheat beer. It's only gonna take like 2 weeks before you're drinking this thing. It's gonna be good.
All right.
And then I want you to invite a couple friends over on a Sunday. And 21-year-old friends, of course. And then you guys you're gonna crack those beers open, and you're gonna call us up, and you're gonna let us know what's happening.
All right.
And if they think it sucks, I'm gonna make fun of them to the entire world.
Yeah.
You got me?
That's good.
All right. And if we can, maybe we'll get a flight out there and join you in your Hefeweizen.
All right.
All right, Ian. I totally appreciate the call. Thanks very much.
Oh, thank you.
All right, we'll see you.
All right, see you. Bye.
Condoning underage drinking all over the world. The Brewing Network. Thank you very much. What are you going to do? We're not encouraging that he drinks it.
It's not our state.
No, it isn't our state.
No.
I got a good friend in Missouri. Just saw him at the reunion, as a matter of fact. Daniela has just joined us in the studio.
Yeah, baby.
Grab a microphone and say hi real quick. We're about to wrap things up. Although I would like to open another one of these beers that we got sitting before we go.
I just had his barley wine.
It's awesome.
It's good. Is that right?
I used to hate barley wine, and people just know that, and they shove good barley wines in my face.
Yeah.
This is spectacular.
Yeah, it's very good.
Okay, I'm not a big barley wine
how old
fan.
Is this, Shaun?
I'll be the judge.
How old is
Justin?
This is 04. It was brewed in actually released in 2004, so it was brewed in 2003.
It's caramely, but it's nice.
I think we won second.
It's not overpowering.
I think we won third place at the Toronto Barley Wine Festival.
It doesn't make your parotid glands squirt.
It's a pretty dry finish for a barley wine.
Parotid gland squirt.
It's pretty good.
Daniela, welcome.
Thank you.
Well, you want to talk in the microphone?
I can't believe you guys are still on the air. That's awesome, really.
Yeah, well, Shaun's been very hospitable. He's a great guy, and he brought a bunch of beer.
Oh,
we are so excited.
I'm so excited. I'm excited about having you back.
Yeah,
though. Very nice.
So good to be back.
I tried to call in, but the number was busy all the time.
Yeah, we've been getting a lot of calls today. Yeah.
Awesome.
We got our first female caller, and you missed it.
Oh, wow.
Jenny.
Yeah.
Jenny from the United States? Or
yeah.
She's calling in from Wisconsin.
Oh, that's awesome.
Wisconsin.
I hope she's going to call in next week again.
Oh, you know what? I hope she does.
Yeah. Yeah, she was cool.
She was nice?
Yeah. They listen all the time, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Yeah. She didn't say anything about you.
It's actually like a family gathering.
They make babies to our show.
Yeah. 3, apparently.
I turned on the middle microphone. You have your own microphone. You can use that if you want.
Yeah, get the microphone up there.
So,
hey, did you kiss Justin?
Yeah, a couple of times, I guess.
Right,
Today?
Enough of this nonsense. What's happening with your beer? That's what people want to know. You got that malty brown still going.
Right.
What's
Is it as good as their first beer?
Yeah, it's my first beer.
It is her first.
No, the first beer.
Yeah, it is still the first beer. It's gonna be better than that one.
Yeah,
Dr.
good.
Scott. Well, hopefully.
Well, give us an update. Where is it? What's happening?
It has to go to its keg now. It's still in the carboy right now, and it's been sitting out there for 3 days now without cooling it down, and it should be fine now, so it can go to the keg tonight, I guess.
Okay. So are you going to keg it tonight?
Oh, yeah, I have to.
You're full of baloney, aren't you?
Well, excuse me, I sort of have a lot of to do, and I'm very busy.
Let's talk should.
I'm just asking if you're going to keg it or not.
You're going to help her?
Well, she asked me to, she's like, can you keg it for me? And I was like, no, I can't keg it for you because you're going to enter this in a competition, and I can't go doing the process
she
for
could
you.
do the beer queen
Yeah.
thing? Oh,
yeah.
excellent.
So I'm not going to
Give me
do
a hug
any,
on that one.
Yeah,
baby.
I'm not going to do any part of it. You got to do it.
Oh, the beer queen thing.
Yeah.
Good.
So you have to keg it. Your keg's ready. It's just waiting to be.
Oh no, you
filled with
can
beer.
actually help. You can
I'll
lift heavy things.
Sure, I will assist, but I'm not going to do it. It's not going to happen. So, but it's ready to keg,
No,
right?
you can't do
It's
it.
absolutely ready to keg.
And how are you feeling about it? Do you think you did everything right so far?
Yeah, I think so, actually. I think it could come out okay. I don't want to jinx myself now, but it could be fine.
Okay.
I want to hear it. Yeah,
Next
baby.
week you get to try it, maybe, Dr. Scott.
Yeah.
I'm a little like shy from that last first one.
Ah, come on, get over
A few weeks
yourself.
ago, we gave Dr. Scott a cup of urine. And he's like,
and I judged it.
Yeah, he did. He gave us a fair evaluation.
He did.
Tastes like urine. Thank you.
A little salty, a little warm.
Yeah.
Bicarbonate's too high.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks, Daniela. We'll see you next week.
No, I don't think so, actually.
You gotta work again?
Yeah, I have to work.
Can I call?
Too much work.
You want to call in sick for me?
No, I'll call and get you fired.
I bet you would.
Yeah.
Please don't. Someone's got to pay the rent around here.
Yeah. Well, you have that cool job as a server.
Yeah. That's paying the bills.
So is that barley wine, too.
That's a good barley wine right there.
No, that's a damn good
Yeah.
one.
That's really nice. Definitely very caramely, which I like. Actually, it kind of smooths over the harshness of a barley wine, having a little more caramel in there.
Oh yeah, round it out. A little
Yeah.
bit.
It's tough.
It's pretty
because
bitter when the bitterness has dropped out a little bit. So
yeah, you were like 200 IBUs and
Yeah,
whatever,
something
yeah,
like
you know.
Yeah. All right, listen, it's been a long show. We're going to get out of here.
Okay.
How about that?
We're all going to go home and stop drinking, right?
Are you getting out of here real quick, Shaun, or can we keep drinking the beer you brought?
Yeah, of course.
You're going to hang out?
Yeah.
All right, good. I'm going to see you tomorrow,
Yes, you are.
All right.
you are.
Bring a little party.
birthday
Bring
show.
him down. Bring
Hey,
him down.
what's it-
How old are you going to be, Jay?
I'll take care of you.
I don't want to talk about that.
How about the on location thing?
You're looking pretty old.
I don't want to talk.
On location thing.
Yeah.
Gucci's
you
been
got gray
pushing
hair
that.
coming out of your beard.
I know.
buddy.
Gucci's been pushing the on location thing, and John goes jumping the gun and talking about all these things we're going to on location. I don't know, man. Hope you got a lot of time off work. You know what I'm saying?
I'll make
We
it
have
happen.
high speed access.
Make it
to
happen.
Oh,
Jay,
wait.
Jay, wait. Jay, you know me. Let's talk about this.
Okay.
I'll make it happen.
Here, let me give my 2 cents about the on location. I am entirely down to do on location things. The things that John posted on the forum are about going and doing interviews and recordings, sort of on location, then bringing them back, which is good too. I want to
But
do
I don't
those.
think that's what Gucci was talking
No.
about.
On location as in broadcasting from someplace else, like a brew pub or a festival. It is definitely in the works, but I'm gonna tell you right now, and I'm especially gonna tell you, Doc, it is a different animal entirely.
Oh, I know.
I've done it, and it's a whole other world. You got an audience in front of you all of a sudden. You essentially have two audiences now. You got the people in front of you that you feel like you have to entertain, and then you got the people at the end of the headphones that you feel like you got to entertain. It's a different animal, although it's a ton of fun. Okay.
Well, I'm the president of a brew club, and I've had our meetings at brew pubs before.
Yeah.
And it's a whole different animal.
It's a different animal. So we are going to do that. We're definitely interested. In fact, I'm probably going to scope out 21st when I'm there tomorrow and have because you got the little loft thing happening.
Yeah, we do actually. A lot of brew clubs come in there and hang out there and do their thing. So
bring my iPod.
I'm going to have a look. I do have the equipment to do on location things because it is that also is a different animal. And I think it would be fun. I think it's a good thing to do. I think it requires a couple extra things that the Brewing Network doesn't quite have in its pocket right now, but could be easily attained. So,
well, let's talk about what we need, and
we'll get it together.
We'll get it happening.
We will get it together. On location things are definitely in the Brewing Network business plan. We want to be actually by next year. I might be a little ambitious. By next year, we probably will be broadcasting from all the major festivals and events. You'll see us there, and we'll be interviewing winners and losers, and big guys and little guys, and bringing home to those of you who can't make it to the festivals. So it's in store. Just kind of hang in there. It's sort of in the middle of the Brewing Network list of things to do. So. Don't be so quick to...
we got the big list.
Yeah, it's a big list. It's a damn big list. Do I have some questions here I didn't get to, Natty? I could do real quick? Oh! Stump the Brewer. How silly am I? Because we got to give away...
I was trying to avoid this
was
part.
so happy he didn't have to do that.
I was like, we're wrapping up right now. I'm drinking the malt liquor right now. Let's get going.
What do you got here?
What do you got?
Oh, is that what I'm drinking?
Nate, do you want to read this?
I'm drinking out of the 40.
Oh, jeez. This is the nervous part of the tour, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Okay, all right.
No, he's got to make English out of it first.
This is a good question.
Okay, I'll make it up.
It's like three people have touched it. It's got to be English when you ask it.
In what year? And did whom?
And did whom?
Although I'll accept either or.
Either or.
Grant his official steward, Hans Sigismund of Degenberg, the right to produce wheat beer for the whole area of the Bavarian forest.
Actually, it was 1300s, I think. Actually, it was there was a... Oh, Jesus.
Are you, I want to ask before you finish, are you blowing smoke or have you,
No, actually, I do understand what you're saying.
Okay.
Because what happened in Berlin, actually, up around there, is that there was the House of Lords or something like that, and they basically mandated, it was a government that mandated that every single pub must buy this, the Hefeweizen, the wheat beer that was being produced for all the beers, for all the bars. And I'm just swimming right now.
You're good. Okay. Do you have the official answer, Natty? Did they give that to you as well?
I think I knew who actually sent this in.
It's Claudia.
The first
Claudia.
Roger.
Roger.
You jerk.
No, Roger wouldn't know that, actually.
Roger's like...
Roger's probably at a poker tournament right now. Claudia's like, come on, honey, let's just go home and watch a movie.
Does she bartend on Mondays?
I don't know, actually.
Book her to call her in. Tell her she's got to work
I'll pull her in. I'll pull her in. She's coming in.
Oh, but one of the first things
I'm calling Roger and making him come out, too.
They used too much of whatever they had to brew beer.
Yeah.
And the guys who were growing a lot of wheat, they wanted to brew a lot of beer. So they had to come down on them. Boom, boom. Say, hey.
Exactly. That's what happened, is that it was like late in the season. It was a quick beer. It was warm.
It's warm. It's
and
quick.
It was like you had to crank it out. And,
but the higher-ups had no control over it.
Right. Well, I appreciate your general vicinity of the answer.
Okay.
You're wrong.
Because you did, I might have even accepted 1300s, but apparently it was 1250. It was just before the 1300s, and it was Ludwig X.
Okay.
Ludwig X. So I'm gonna.
We don't like him.
So I'm gonna call the brewer stumped, just because we're giving away the shirt anyway.
His face is ready.
Although
it's always is ready.
And Oz, you sneaky man, Oz. You're like a shirt collector, is what you are.
We're never shipping it to him.
Oh no, he's saving on shipping.
Yeah, he's saving. Now you got 4 shirts in your line.
Saving on shipping.
Ship it to him.
But in Oz's not 1250. How'd you go from 1250 to 1520?
I'm going.
Nate's dyslexic.
I'm going 1520.
It was 1520.
Because
what's Nate? Is he on my side?
No.
I'm going 1520s because they're using too much wheat to make beer and not make bread.
Right.
And like, hey, we're starving, but we're drinking. So,
was it still Ludwig, or was it like at Goodall?
Oh, no. Louis be dead.
Oz, yet another shirt for your collection. There you go. But hey, if he's the only one going to send in the Stump the Brewer, then he gets the shirt.
So we're signing Oz's shirts?
Yeah.
But this is our name, not things.
What do you mean things?
Well, like,
What do you want to do? Like ink your privates and throw them on the shirt or something?
like, I'm a brewer, but I suck. And, things like that.
He's hanging them in his home bar, so we ought to just sign nice thing. We'll sign our names. And he wants the brewer names on them, too. And I don't have a pen, but maybe I'll buy one tomorrow and bring it to you if you're going to be there tomorrow night.
I'll have a pen for you.
You'll have to sign this.
You know what, that's
I have
not
a
going to
Sharpie
happen.
for you.
So, what's that, John?
I have a Sharpie for you.
But
No, we need one of them
shirt,
silvery,
black Sharpie doesn't
kind of
work.
like...
Sorry.
Yeah. That's the problem with his other shirts is that they're black. And
No, we need one of them silvery kind of weird things
Exactly.
that chicks know about,
Exactly.
but we don't. So.
All right, let's get the hell out of here.
Yeah,
huh?
please.
Okay, Stump the Brewer is over. Oz, congratulations.
You stumped him, baby.
That's right. Good work. We
was
have
close.
been with. You were very.
It was close.
I actually like that you even had a clue because I'd have been like, whatever. Give him the friggin' shirt.
Where's the barley wine?
Shaun O'Sullivan from 21st Amendment Brew Pub in San Francisco, California. You want to give the address and the?
It's 563 2nd Street. It's www.21st-amendment.com.
There you go. Check it out. I actually like the website. It's good. It's clear.
21st Amendment.
You do a little update on the front page about happenings. It's cool. So I'll give you guys. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to talk to Shaun about it after the show. I'm probably going to go to there tomorrow and have my birthday party. I'll come back next week with a full report on 21st Amendment and tell you guys if it's all it's cracked up to be. How about that?
Pressure's on.
It might suck.
Yeah, that's right.
I doubt it.
I won't be afraid to say
because all these beers I've had.
It's not like those
smoking.
Drake's Friday barbecues.
Yeah,
there's no mullets.
There's
no mullets.
No mullets. Challenging mullets.
Mullets and Pitbulls. It's my new band name. Mullets and Pitbulls.
M&P.
Yeah.
That's
right.
awesome.
Doc, I'm happy to have you back.
Hey, thanks for having me.
We missed you. So it's good to have you
Well,
back.
that's what my wife said. She says, you're going to the brewing thing again.
Yeah.
I haven't been there in 4 weeks.
That's
I
right.
miss it. I'm going.
Good.
Deal.
Good. We're glad to have you back. And you brought beer. We're glad to have that, too.
Yeah.
Johnny P?
What's up?
You're looking good, buddy.
Hey, thanks for the wine, John.
Hey, appreciate
The
it.
wine was good.
No, it was great.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
I'll tell you what, I'm kicked back right now.
Yeah?
No, I'm loose.
I'm
good.
there, baby.
I think everybody's loose. We got Shaun feeling a little better.
I'm loose.
I'm feeling good. I see a good 3 22-ounces that haven't been opened or so.
Yeah, I see some caps on. I see some crown caps.
Yeah.
We'll be good. We're going to be all right. We're going to have a good night.
We'll have one for you guys out there.
Yeah. I got some new shows in store for you guys. They're coming up soon. I think what we're planning is
what?
We're going to plan a style show.
Okay,
and it's going to be one day a week, just like this one. It's going to be shorter. It's going to be a 1-hour show, and we're going to pick a style each week, and we're going to talk about that. You can ask your questions, and you can plan your brews around it. It's coming up soon.
What times are we talking?
I'm not sure yet. I have to get a lineup because I can't sit in here and talk about the style. I got to get some people to back me up. I think Jamil's very interested in doing it. It was partially his idea. He's really into it. So I'm hoping to get him on board. I'm hoping to get you on board, Doc.
If it works to my schedule, I'm there.
Okay. I'm going to talk to some brewers like Shaun and other people and try to get people in. But it's going to be short and sweet, and we're going to trim the fat, and we're going to talk about a style just to add a show to our lineup and get some more information for you guys out there.
So no fun, just information.
A little fun, you know.
Okay.
But
we can't cut out the fun.
Yeah, a little bit of fun.
We have fun here.
But a lot of good stuff. Also, the Blues Show is going to happen again next Sunday, and it's designed to send me your requests, and I'll do new blues and old blues. I did all old school blues today. It was just really good stuff.
Good.
Lightning Slim and Slim Harpo and you name it. It was good old Louisiana blues. So send me your requests and brew. You know, hang out and just enjoy it. Drink some coffee or beer and brew. Gucci today was smoking cigars and brewing up steaks and stuff. So that was fun. Cool. It was cool.
Get some finger style blues.
That's right. That's right. So that's Sunday morning at 10 a.m. and then you just got a little lag time before the show at 5 o'clock again. Next week we got, is it Butte Creek?
Yeah, Larry.
That's how they say
Larry
it?
from Butte Creek.
It's not Butt Creek, right?
Ooh, ouch.
Well, wait a minute. No, that would be B-U-T-T, not B-U-T-T.
It's B-U-T-T-E, Butte Creek. And I've had their beer also.
Did you graduate high school?
And I like it.
College?
Just
no,
barely.
he did it, but then Hesperia.
Yeah, I graduated from the desert.
That's in the desert. D-E-S-S-E.
Sounds like a disease, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
What you have?
And a bad case of Hesperia.
Oh, exactly. It's in my lungs.
Yeah. So that's the deal. Check out 21st Amendment. It's 21st-amendment.com.
Yeah.
And check out the brew pub in San Francisco.
And if you're going to San Francisco, make it your first place to go.
Yeah. Thank you. I mean, yeah.
Actually,
Come on by. We'll see you tomorrow.
I really do hear it's a good brew
Go
pub. I will
Giants.
see you tomorrow.
Go Giants.
If
Yeah,
your friends
Giants,
are playing the Giants, this is the place you want to go first.
Yeah, you guys fill up after the games, huh?
Oh, it's insane. It's insane.
Before and after.
Gotcha.
Pretty much during, so. Yeah.
All right. You know how we do it.
night, Jeff.
Pale Ale is a friend of mine. We'll see you next week with Butte Creek.
Pale ale is a friend of mine, and I sure like good barley wine. Chocolate porter, cherry stout, don't you know what I am talking about? Don't you give me that American crude, boys, I want a real homebrew. Homebrew, don't you really love it? Homebrew, can't get enough of it. Homebrew, it blows my mind. I love homebrew all the time. Yeah, I think I have me, well, I have me one right now. Brown, they should know how to get down. Double and triple on my best friend. I think I'll have them all over again. But don't you give me that American crude, boys, I want a real homebrew. Homebrew, don't you really love that homebrew? Can't get enough of it. Homebrew, it blows my mind. I love homebrew all of the time. Yeah, I think I'll have me, well, I'll have me one right now. Give me a wheat beer on a hot summer day. A bark will do me when the skies are gray. I'll take a Belgian brew anytime, and the women sings and lambic fine. But don't you give me that American crude, boys, I want a real homebrew. Homebrew, don't you really love that homebrew? Can't get enough of it. Homebrew, it blows my mind. I love homebrew all of the time. Yeah, I think I'll have me, well, I'm the one right now. Cherry stout, yeah, you know what I am talking about. But don't you give me that American crude, boys, I want a real homebrew. Homebrew, don't you really love that homebrew? Can't get enough of it. Homebrew, it blows my mind.